Hey, what's up, Internet? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday evening. We are back at the painting table, and I'm glad you guys are here. It's the end of the week. Actually, what am I saying? It's the beginning, it's the end of the weekend. Kind of sad. But hey, I'm glad we're doing this stream. Always fun to do. And I've got a treat for us tonight. We are going to be working on the Starlancer for Relic Knights. However, before we do that, I want to do something cool, and I want to build this rust bucket. So we're going to figure out how to do that together. So let me show you guys what the art looks like. So there's the example. That's what we're going to be attempting to build here. And I'm going to need my clippers and my trusty hobby knife. Those are not the good clippers. Where are the good clippers? Here are the good clippers. Alright. So let's start with the stuff that we know. This is obviously the torso. So this is one of the larger resin kits currently for Relic Knights. And we're not going to be painting this tonight. We're just going to be building it. Because I need to finish, well, I mean, honestly, I probably should be working on commission stuff, but I'm getting tired. I need to break it up, because this is not, it is not, it's not so great. This is kind of cool, this little thing here. I'm gonna see what, like, how exactly all this goes together. Had I known this was a thing, I would have actually stamped my base differently. As you can see, I took the base here and I did this random steel plate, which is pretty cool. But I don't know, this is kind of cool too, this thing. What I like about it is you have the spot there for the actual, it's got a footprint in it that you can attach to there. But I don't know if I want to use it or not. I really do, just honestly, I just like that. That's cool. I don't really know if I want to do this. I could probably use this for a different model, but all good. Let's see. Somebody's talking about the things and things. Hold on. Anyways, if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Right now, we're just building a rust bucket, because why not? I want to see what it looks like put together. And honestly, this is not value-added activity on my part, but it is quite cool. And just as soon as I start, my cat wants to go outside the room, so let me let him out. Alright, kitty. You do what you gotta do. Sit outside and cry. Totally welcome to do that. Yeah, kind of scatterbrained. That's what happens. You know, as soon as I'm done with the commission, which I finished that Aristea commission, which is cool. But as soon as I was done with that, it was like, oh, can you paint more stuff for a Relic Knights commission? And I'm like, yes. And I want to paint more stuff for Relic Knights commissions, but this is like not good stuff. You know what I mean? It's like not, whatever. Let's get to it. Anyways, so here's the head of the rust bucket. At least this will be fun. It should be fun to paint this thing. Cool little rust bucket helmet there. Rust bucket. I should actually be basing stamps for that commission. But hey, I already stamped this base this morning thinking this was the next thing I was going to be working on, so why not, I say. Let's just build it. Let's just build it, and then we'll worry about when we're actually going to get to paint it later. If you guys want, like, if you want, I can bitch about this, this particular request. The thing is, you know, I know this is what I'm working on is going to be used, and it's going to be used extensively. So that's the plus, right? That's the reason why I'm still doing it, as much as I'm going to bitch about it. Like, I know this is good for Relic Knights in general. And I'm down for that. Like, I'm down for the cause. I want to help Relic Knights. But let's first let's get all these legs free. This is kind of cool. It's a 4-legged mech. You know, it's kind of like what are those stupid chaos things from 40K? What's up, Orlander TV? Hey, Kalini, welcome to the feed. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday evening, or maybe a Monday morning, depending on where you're tuning in from. So yeah, we're building this large resin kit for Relic Knights. It's called a Rust Bucket, and it's for the Star Nebula Corsairs. And it's their second biggest resin kit. Their biggest resin kit is a Castellan, which I can show you because they're so cool. You guys will actually watch me. I'll go back over there and climb up. You see where that samurai sword is on this side of me? It's over there. So I'll go do that in a minute. Because I love that model. It's probably not in the best state back there, unfortunately. It's like probably gathering dust and being sad because Relic Knights is not a thing currently. So this needs to be pinned, doesn't it? I don't know. Probably should be pinned. Damn it! I don't want to pin. Where do these cool flap things go? Ooh. Yeah, we gotta do some cleanup on these pieces. Alright, so if you're just joining us, welcome to the feed. Let me know what you're working on or what you should be working on. This is called a Rust Bucket, like I said. Oh, now that's interesting. So, I guess these oh, it just kind of clamps in like that. Interesting. I'm wondering if I probably should, with a structure this big, I probably should pin these. But I really don't want to, if I'm being honest with you. I'm really lazy. I wish these were keyed differently so I could tell what goes where. It's not the best kit. It's like that, kind of. . 'Cause Yeah. But which legs go where? Like this leg is clearly like stepping. And this one is super flat. Are these maybe these are the back legs? That could definitely be a back leg right there. And then where does this go? Hold on. Let's look at the box. Okay. So those are basically arm guards. So they go on. That would go like on that, like that. It's kind of cool. Might even be easier to just paint this thing off the sprue. Let's just do a little trimming, cleaning here. Honestly, I probably need to give these a wash before I build it anyway. So I'm probably just gonna end up clipping everything, cleaning it, and then I'm gonna put it away for now. Because this isn't even what we're working on tonight. I just got super excited by it. I'm like, oh man, my rust bucket's here. So cool. Let's build it. Let's build it. Let's play. Probably not, but yeah, it's probably not gonna be a thing for a while at least. Instead, what I'm gonna do before we get onto the Star Lancer, which we need to finish, is I'm probably gonna stamp some bases for this Relic Knights commission I've got. It's probably the best use of time here. I am also currently in the Discord. For those of you subscribed, let me know if you want to be part of the discussion. Tonight's discussion is going to be more around Relic Knights 2.0. So if you would like to, if you have experience playing Relic Knights 2.0, you want to talk about Arcade 2.0, let me know. Okay, so all those pieces are now free. And now we can go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put these back for now so that I can wash them later. We'll work on these a little bit later in the week. But yeah, really looking forward to working on that. I'm going to show you guys the Castellan. I'm going to put that away as well. I'm going to show you guys the Castellan, and then we'll get on to stamping some bases, and then we'll get on to the Star Lancer. Okay, I'm going to check that. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight we're going to be working on the Star Lancer for Relic Knights. And you might see me climbing in the background here, or reaching for this guy. Ooh, it's a little wobbly, but super. This is one of my favorite reasons why. It's one of the reasons why I love Relic Knights. Is this right here. This is the Castellan, and this thing is gigantic. This is a gigantic miniature. And I modified his pose a little bit. He's got a bunch of stuff loose right now. It seems like he's just kind of wobbly, but he's a little dusty. But you can see I stick a little maid on his shoulder there, which is cool. And I was using this as sort of like a proxy Relic Knight. Like if I wanted to just play a Relic Knight that they don't have a model yet, I could just use this. Ooh, and I did actually loosen him up. So he is loose on his base. I am gonna, let's throw a little glue on him then, make sure he's gonna stay put. But yeah, Relic Knights it's the reason why I haven't given up on this game. Well, one of the reasons why I haven't given up on the game is because there's stuff like that in the game. That's a thing. You can play that. Like that's very hard for me to go, okay, I'm gonna walk away from this game when I can play this giant awesome mecha thing. But many people have walked away from the game, and it's a shame. And if you want to know my truth, I do not blame them. They have very good reasons for wanting to walking away from the game, and it's a shame. It's a shame all around that they have a good reason to leave this game, and it's a shame that we haven't corrected those things yet. You know what I mean? So, anyway. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight we're going to be working on the Star Lancer, I promise you, but I wanted to show off this Castellan real quick, and then we'll get to the painting. See if I can get him to stabilize. He is a huge miniature. Huge. He's a huge miniature. I'm actually gonna stick a little glue there where the pin attaches on the bottom. And I'll spray some zip kicker so that freezes. And freeze the position on the top with zip kicker. Now typically the Castellan comes with a flying stand to make him even more imbalanced, and I was not a fan of that, so I opted not to do that. Alright, I'm also going to glue the lance tighter so that doesn't wobble either. Alright, so the commission is to build and paint a Doctrine cadre, okay? Doctrine is really, they're kind of like, for lack of a better term, they're kind of like the Harry Potter faction for Relic Knights. They're all the wizards and the scribes and that kind of thing. And let me see what we're doing here. So we're doing Relic Knight Kisa, we're doing and Scratch, we're doing the prefects 1, 2, 3. We're doing Togan and Cecilia. We're doing 3 Academy Guard. 2, 3. We're doing Fiametta. And was there anything else as part of this? I don't remember. So here we go. So I gotta stamp all these big yellow bases here. Let me make sure. I'm gonna look at my messages and see who else is on this list. Okay. Kisa and Scratch, Prefix, Togan Cecilia, Hasami. Hasami is not on there. Okay. Okay. That's the other piece I'm missing. Alright. So, prefix, Togen Cecilia. Prefix, Togen Cecilia, Fiametta, Hasami, Scratch, Kisa. Okay. And we're gonna, so we're gonna make our epoxy putty. And we're gonna stamp these guys. All right. Let me see if all right. So let's see what's going on. Andrew may be joining us for some Arcade 2.0 discussion, but we'll see. He might be playing League tonight too, so that's another possibility. But first, we need a big ol'. We're gonna need a fairly big chunk of epoxy putty to stamp these, so I might be pulling more here than I need. That's okay. It's always a little interesting trying to get the same amount. Look at that, though. I think I nailed it. Nailed it! Right out of the gate. Now let's mix it together and hope that it's enough. You can only crash if you have something to add to the conversation about Arcade 2.0. If you have questions, I guess you could, but yeah, it's up to you. Anyway, I'm just gonna mix this up and do the job of the painting and stuff. All right, so. You got arcade stuff? Okay. Oh, let's see. And now, let's mix this. I really like this epoxy light stuff. It's really good basing material. All right. I don't know if this is going to be enough. It looked like it was enough originally, but let's see. So a 30 mil base, usually about the size of a. If you have about the size of a corn kernel, like that, that's enough. So, but there's a lot of big base models here. That's what I'm worried about. Might be a little too much. And then I gotta decide, yeah, that's a little much. I gotta decide, what style of base I'm gonna go with. I may just go random plate or random steel plate just because that's one of the easier ones to paint. Or I may do the hexagonal cobblestone because that looks correct. It's another good RK themed base scheme that you could go with. Looks like I'm doing 6 small base models And then I'm gonna do 3 40 mils, and then a 50, and then an 80. So for the 40 mils, you need a little bit more, like a, I don't know what this is, maybe pea size? Yeah, like that. That's pretty good. Okay. And we're gonna do this as well. What'd you guys do this weekend? Did you do anything good? For me, I took my kids to the reptile zoo and I did a paint day. So that was good. I had a really good Saturday. Today was really relaxing. Like, we hardly did anything today. That actually might be too much. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna pull a piece off of that. And if that's truly extra, I'll use it to stamp something else. But yeah, I am thinking at this point, I am thinking of doing that hexagonal cobblestone. Although for arcade, like I said, the steel plate is a really good option. Because you don't, it's all one color basically. And then against these yellow, because I'm gonna probably keep the base color yellow like this. But yeah, see, that was plenty. Okay, we're good there. I'm gonna be short there, so that's good. I'll crash chat when I don't need to add anything smart and stuff, okay? Yeah, let's see if Andrew... Andrew was supposed to join Friday night, but instead my wife, she crashed and decided to join in one of my paint sessions here. That was always fun. She has to get up and go to work tomorrow, so she is not going to be joining us tonight. And tomorrow I actually have off because my wife's aunt died, and so Grandma is over in. She's out of state right now, so somebody's got to be home and watch the kids, and I have more time off than my wife does right now, so I got the duty for tomorrow, but that's gonna be cool. I'm probably gonna take my kids to SeaWorld, which should be good. Yeah, it's still, see that? It's like really thin right there. I'm gonna just reinforce that with another piece. There we go. So yeah, tomorrow during the day I'll be in SeaWorld. Should be fun. Nice little 3-day weekend for me. Did I do enough? It's gonna be tight. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, look at that. Not quite. Not quite enough. Like, just barely not enough. It's nice to have that extra little bit there. See? Just correct stuff like that. Okay. And I guess, I mean, we can... We can build this commission out. But yeah, got a lot of stuff to do because of Kingdom Con. So Kingdom Con's coming up in like a couple of weeks. Actually, it's like right around the corner, and I have some open commissions I need to take care of. There's this client who wants to have a doctrine force ready to roll by Kingdom Con because we're actually gonna be playing a lot of RK at Kingdom Con, just because like we put it back on the menu. So we got this going on. Then I have another client that wants to bring Batman to Kingdom Con. So I have a Batman commission to do. And then I have, if I can get to it, I want to paint more of my Wrath of Kings Technus stuff. So that I can, so that I have options in my secondary army. Because I made a deal. I made a deal with Nelson. I'm like, Nelson, if you go to Kingdom Con and you want to play in Wrath of Kings tournament, I'll let you play Shelhan. I'll let you play the pandas. And I don't think he's going to take me up on it. So I'm not terribly worried about that part of the plan. I don't even know if he's going to go to Kingdom Con. I hope he does, because honestly, I feel bad for people that don't go to Kingdom Con. I'm like, you missed out, man. Like, you didn't go to Kingdom Con. Like, what? You're not gonna have a good time. So, moral of the story, kids, go to Kingdom Con if able. It's a blast. It's a really good time, and there's a bunch of people there that we all know each other, and we're gonna play a bunch of games that we normally can't play in larger groups. You know, it's like these games are great at Kingdom Con because you don't have, you know, the assholery that goes with a large public event. But all your like extended friends from the San Diego area are there. So you can play this because they play it. And a lot of times they only play it when you're nearby or when you're part of the equation. So we can play stuff like this. We can play Arena Rex. We can Rumble Slam, I think, will be a big buzz at Kingdom Con this year. So that's cool. I think Rumble Slam will be the talk of the miniatures. The new miniatures games that are featured at Kingdom Con. I think it's going to be Rumble Slam. People are going to go nuts over it. Kind of like how, you know, a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago, people went nuts over Guild Ball when we first brought Guild Ball to Kingdom Con. Same thing here. Rumble Slam, they're gonna be big on that. And this game, RK, will be kind of a surprise to people when they see it being played. Because they're like, I thought that game was dead. I thought that game was over. You want to know something? They're kind of right. The game is kind of over. You know, it's. I hate to say, and I hate that. I hate to say stuff like that. But, like, in all honesty, it's like, it's kind of like right now we're playing Vaporware. You know, we're just playing. We're playing a bunch of beta rules, but that's not anything new, really. If you think about it, the RK 1.5 rules were out like right before and after the Kickstarter, and some of us were playing the RK 1.5 rules. What's over? Well, it's if you look at objectively, if you look at Relic Knights as a public product, you know, a product available to the public, actively being supported, it was very much looked at as a dead game. You know, some people will argue that it was DOA when the Kickstarter, the 2-year Kickstarter, 2-year late Kickstarter, sorry, arrived, that it was already too late by that point, that people moved on, they didn't care. And you know, the few people that played the game in 1.0 had bad experiences with it. We had people that were complaining that, hey, there's not enough combat in RK 2.0, or we just played a half-hour game and nothing died. I think that's actually kind of cool if you ask me, personally. Like, if somebody said, hey, we played a half-hour game, so the game was over in half an hour, and nothing died. I'm like, that's kind of a cool, novel thing for a miniatures game. Because I'm always harping on this idea that miniatures games ultimately revolve around the attempt to remove the opposing player's miniatures. Now, don't get me wrong, you know, a lot of games nowadays are built on, hey, you know, you win on scenario, you win on scenario. I get that. I'm not really saying that you don't win on scenario, but I'm saying still, ultimately, there's a push to remove the player's models. And I think it's part of the reason why, because it's sort of a head-to-head competitive type thing, I think that's probably a bigger component as to why, ooh, here comes the sexism, a bigger component as to why, you know, miniature games are not as big a draw for female tabletop players as board games and RPGs are, because the focus is spatial thinking, critical thinking, and direct competition, removing the other player's pieces, you know, actively trying to destroy and take down a player. I've had a lot of female players tell me, oh, I want to play miniatures games, but I just don't really like the combat aspects of those games. It doesn't appeal to me. I want to play, I don't mind playing a head-to-head, but I would rather play something that, for lack of a better term, something where I am forced to sort of outmaneuver or develop resources, you know, in a more optimal manner than my opponent and beat them that way. So I guess, you know what? I think I should do the steel plate. I think thinking here. Do you think I should do steel plate, or do you think I should do this hexagonal cobblestone? Steel plate does look cool, and it's easier to paint. Steel plate is easier to paint. Okay, steel plate it is. You guys talked me into it. You're just, you know, don't. Wow. Okay, stop. I get it. We're going steel plate. Jeez. All right, so steel plate here. This is like, I got this specifically for RK. I got this base stamp specifically for it. So it's kind of cool. All right. You gotta really push down on the big 80 mil. Make sure you get everything. Because the minute you pop it up, if you didn't get enough, you are boned. That looks pretty good. Soak up some of that water. Okay. But yeah, and you know, for a while, it was really just for Arcade. 1.0 had its problems. A bunch of people left Arcade 1.0. Then Ninja tried to do. They were like, we're gonna do a Kickstarter. We're gonna do a 2.0. We're gonna do Void Break. It's gonna be a thing, and they released beta rules. They released Arcade 1.5 beta rules. Okay, and they released a bunch of miniatures in the interim. You know, like the Aspirant, the Star Lancer, the Space Dandy miniature unit, Roos Fixer, Jenner. They launched some stuff, and this was for 1.5, and nobody was playing 1.5. Me and Mark played 1.5. You know, that was about it. And nobody even, like, everybody looked at us like, you guys are playing a dead game. You guys are playing a game that's like not even a thing. They're not releasing miniatures for it. And we're like, no, they did. They actually did release miniatures for it. Nobody would know. Nobody would know because everybody walked away shortly after the 1.0 Kickstarter. You know, they're like, game is DOA. They're not supporting it. We're done. We're out of here. Right? I didn't like my experience with 1.0. We're done. Right? So that was 1.5. And, you know, but like I said, me, Mark, and maybe 25 people over the internet, we're still playing. We're still playing 1.5 and still, you know, invested in the game. We played it really regularly, me and Mark. Like, we would play like 3-4 games in a session, like in our weekly get together. Like, Arcade was always on the table. Like, oh, we're gonna play Batman. Let's play Arcade. We're gonna play Wrath of Kings. Let's play Arcade. You know, and let's play Guild Ball. Let's also play Arcade. Like, that's what we did for like the next almost 2 years. Then 2.0 Kickstarter comes out. People get hype. Oh man, Arcade is coming back. It's gonna be great. We're like, wait. Arcade is still here. You can actually play it now. And they're like, what? But we didn't. We didn't, because it was like, well, let's just wait for the 2.0. Let's wait for the Kickstarter, and let's get new rules and get people in on that floor. Why teach them a system that we know is going to be changed dramatically in that time? So we stopped playing at that point. We stopped playing to wait. And we waited and we waited and we faithfully backed the Kickstarter. I went in several $100s. And we waited. We waited for SDE. We waited for Way of the Fighter. We waited for. I skipped Rail Raiders. I skipped Rumble Slam, and was kind of upset about that. Right? And then here we are. Kickstarter is well over a year late. People are calling it, wow, dead again, you were fooled again, right? Can't blame them. Can't blame them. They were, you know, now they're pissed about this. Because they, you know, oh, look, what a surprise, we're late again. Like, over a year late on another Relic Knights Kickstarter. Like, what even is this game? The people that were disenfranchised in the 1.0 version of the game it's just more ammo for them to go, nah, still bad. Still a bad idea, still a bad game. Don't, you know, put it away. Go away. It's done. It's a done deal. All right. Now we're going to so that's kind of where we're at. Meanwhile, you know, we're still getting promises about here's when the game's coming back. Here's when you're supposed to be getting your Kickstarter. They said May. The Wave 1 Arcade will be out in May. I'm gonna call mega bullshit on that. All right, get like, and bear in mind, yes, I volunteer for Ninja. I'm a member of Ninja Corps. I promote their games actively. I'm an advocate for their games and for their products. I feel Ninja ran too many. They did. They ran too many at once. They bit off more they could chew. They relied on untrustworthy uh, third parties, and they like virtually irreparably damaged their brand. You know, just being real, man. Just telling you guys like what it is. That's what they did, and it's a shame because, like I said, I love these guys and I love this product. I love Relic Knights. I do. It is a perennial favorite of mine. It's been my #1 game for like 4 or 5 years in a row. Last year, it did not. It did not. It was not my favorite. It didn't make the list because just too much garbage. Okay, she wanted Togen. She wanted Scratch. I gotta grab all this crap and figure out how all this stuff comes together. Oof. What a mess, dude. The prefix are terrible miniatures. Who does this go to? Hold on. Sami. So let's see what we can build here. These miniatures are in piss poor shape. Let's see what we got. Alright. Meanwhile, my Minotaur is almost at the shipping stage in the Fallout game was only pushed a month back. Yeah. Meanwhile, Rising Sun, huge Kickstarter. What did Rising Sun make? Like almost 3 million? And then that game shipped a month, an entire like 4 to 6 weeks early. That's crazy. All right, let me look at some. Let me look at some pictures of Academy Guard. Relic Knights Academy Guard. Okay, so here's the problem with buying refurb miniatures. The previous masters are just awful, mean, horrible people that do horrible, mean things to their miniatures. Like, look at how these all snapped off. The guy was using Gorilla Glue. Ugh, it's painful to look at. It really is. Let's look at the images. Okay, that's what we want to see. That doesn't help. Oh, they're floating? Oh, that's just for dicks, man. They don't come with floating bases? That's for dicks. Alright. What is this crap for? This is for the prefix, right? Or is this for... No, I don't even know. Let's just put shit together and hope for the best. Yeah, the prefix are terrible. Alright, there's Togen and Cecilia. Okay. The hell is the matter with this guy? This kind of, I guess that goes like that. I can't believe this guy used Gorilla Glue. Like, this guy was a savage. Whoever owned this shit. I had to put this back together. I just ripped, he had glued the arms in upside down. It was horrifying. I just put that back together. Luckily, the client didn't ask for that, so that's mine. I get to rebuild that and keep that. All right. What do I do with my glue? Let's see. Dude, Gorilla Glue is horrible if you're gonna, unless you know exactly what you're doing and you're never gonna ever need to reset. Gorilla Glue is, it's, this guy did not know what he was doing, and he used Gorilla Glue, and it resulted in some very, very permanent damage to the miniatures. Sucks arcade keeps getting pushed back. I like the aesthetic and genuinely hype. Kind of hard to build a community when you can't give a drop date. Yeah, and especially like in our community, people have been on this train before. Like I kind of feel like the jackass for saying, "Hey man, it's a good game and we're playing again." Like I feel like my own personal rapport with people gets damaged when I tell them, you know, yeah, Arcade's a great game. We're picking it up. We're playing it again. Yeah. Oh, well, that's okay. That is part of the issue. There are no instructions here with these. There are no instructions for building these. I don't know. I may have to go out and get. What I'll probably do is I'll probably drill a hole at the bottom of these and just stick them on like black metal rods. Yeah, this guy mucked it up so bad that the joints are shaved clean off because he did it with Gorilla Glue. I had to take a Dremel to that Dark Space Zenata. I had to take a Dremel to make a channel so that I could actually glue the arms in properly. Like refurb miniatures are, you know, yeah, you're getting a good price on them, but these guys have done some really, really heinous shit to the minis a lot of times. And so when people, they're like, hey man, can you commission paint this? I bought this army used or whatever, right? And it's already built, so don't charge me as much. And I'm like, nah, bitch. Like it costs more to paint that because it will inevitably fall off. It will inevitably break because whoever put this together is a dick, I guarantee you, and they didn't do it right. And then sure enough, you know, I'll be in the middle of painting it and it's just gonna come right apart. Man, I do not want to pin this. I feel like I have to though. Let's worry about that in a minute. Actually, no, we don't have a minute. We have to do it now. I use Gorilla Glue because I know the mini will break before the joint. Right now I'm using Loctite in the control bottle. Yeah, this is the only glue I will use now for miniatures. It's the only glue I'll use because... Oh, it's the wrong case. The only one I'll use because it's the only one that doesn't just slip and slide and then make you want to kill yourself. You hit the sack. All right, have a good night, man. Thanks for tuning in. Could be looking at another quiet Sunday evening, but that's fine. We got just stuff going all over the place tonight with the Relic nights. All right, so I need my little pinning material. I need the wire. There it is. So yeah, I'm gonna do little pins on the Academy Guard. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting and what you should be painting. Tonight, we're working on Relic Knight stuff. We will be working on a Star Lancer that's actually about, we'll say 45% done right now. But right now I'm building a commission refurb on a Doctrine Cadre faction. I need to make 5 pins right now. May actually need more than 5 pins. Maybe I'll just cut a bunch. Let's cut a bunch. That way if I need to. Ooh. Where did that go? Hold on. Where'd it go? Is it on my person? Did it slide off and hit the ground? Meh. Meh. Oh well. It'll show up again. I'm just gonna clip some more. Alright. So we're just... Yeah, this is the boring stuff that people don't want to watch. But we'll get to, like I said, we'll get to some painting. What is going on with my clippers? There's 5. I'm gonna do 8 pins. I may need 8 pins. This is, okay, we're gonna go straight to the part that I like. We're gonna go straight over to, out here. There we go. We'll make a couple more pins. Like on a, if this were a straight build, I would not need to be pinning the spear heads on, the trident heads on. And that's kind of like why I would charge more if somebody handed me pre-built models. I would charge them more. Because it's not, you're not doing me any favors. You're making me go back and fix somebody else's work. Because it's gonna be, you know, most of the time it's gonna be shoddy work. And I'll explain why. It's not just me being prejudiced or biased. The reason why you're just about guaranteed that it's gonna be shitty work is because if you think about it, the people that are diligent in their builds and doing things, you know, pinning and doing things the right way, well, guess what? They're finishing up the job. They're gonna, if they're gonna go that far, they're gonna base the models. They're not just gonna glue it to plastic. They're gonna go through and paint the model too. They're gonna do it all. So it's not a dickhead thing for me to say that the people who hand you pre-built models, the previous owners, took shortcuts. They were, you know, they were trying to get these on the board as fast as they could. They were jizzing their pants. They wanted rules, not models, right? Hey, Blade Wolf, welcome back. They wanted rules, not models. They didn't give a shit about, you know, it being a model. They wanted to get it on the board and I'm gonna beat my friends by spamming this unit and that kind of stuff. And so they took the whatever shortcut they could to have a model built or reasonably built. And it makes no sense to me when people do shit like that. It just doesn't. Especially like, for example, Rumble Slam, where you have clear acrylic bases. Like, why the hell would you glue the model to... I will say sometimes I don't pin, but I paint. Oh no, Salacious. Like, why the hell, if you're playing Rumble Slam, right? And I know people are going to do this, because we're getting into Rumble Slam, we're going to have people playing Rumble Slam. They're going to get their models and then just glue them directly to the clear base. Why? Just unpainted. Why the hell would you do that? What's the matter with you? Like, and they go, oh, no, I'll go back and fix it. They don't. And then they end up selling their models for cheap. Somebody buys them for cheap. Somebody actually interested in aesthetic, but they want a good price. And it's like, oh, okay, I got these Rumble Slam models for nothing. I'm going to go send them over to Octave and expect a discount because they're built already. And I'm going to say, nah, no discount. If anything, I would charge you more because now I got to go back and fix what this dumbass did when he was just trying to get shit on the board. You know what I mean? I shouldn't... Why that... This is PVC. One of the biggest advantages to PVC is that you don't have to pin it. And I'm having to pin it because dumbasses just used Gorilla Glue, put shit in incorrectly. You know, just horrible, like not thinking, really. Not thinking. All right. But let's go. Oh, gosh. How you doing, Blade Wolf? What are you working on tonight, man? The salt is real. It is, dude. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. You know, like I said, the only reason why I'm painting these is because this is for another ninja. Another ninja wants stuff so she can demo stuff and teach people the game. Well, ultimately, that's better for the game. And so, yeah, I'm going to sit here and deal with this bullshit so that we can hopefully get some people to play this game. But yeah, I don't know. I am salty. I am salty about that and this game. Because it's like, I love this game. It's great. It's a great game. And I like the 2.0. And I'm actually a little bit bummed that I like the 2.0. You love these models though. Ninja. I do not like the Academy Guard. I think these are bad models, honestly. I don't use... I use Anima. I use Gears from Anima as my Academy Guard. I do not think these are good models. I shouldn't have to do this. I'm gonna glue this. Look at this crap. I'm gonna glue this, and then I have to use Zip Kicker on PVC. That's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. That shouldn't be a thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's... Alright. It's a neck that you better protect because Wu-Tang method. You don't like the creepy uncle in that group. Togen? He's okay. The prefix are terrible though. Let me show you the prefix. They're like children. They're so small. Like, it's very hard to get a good paint job on a miniature that small. And then the Kisa Relic Knight pilot is stupidly small. And then meanwhile, Fiametta, gigantic. So like, yeah, they're like here. Well, let me show you this. Where's that stupid? This is awful. I had to fix this had snapped off. So you can see it's not even straight. And it's like, it's right in front of her face. So you can't really paint her face because the guy Gorilla Glued it that way. It's actually supposed to be more that way. But look, that's Kisa. That's the Relic Knight. She's an adult. Kisa's she's an adult. Here's Fiametta. Right, Fiametta's like an ogress compared to these other minis. Anyway, yeah, let's. Okay. I guess I can start to glue some of these on their bases. Because they're PVC, they should be able to stick. Yeah, the scaling is terrible on these. Gosh, I just finished telling people, I love this game, play this game, and it's like... You know, there's some things, like, it's tough to defend, man. It's like tough... Alright. I didn't know the prefix were children's. They're straight up kids? I guess that makes sense. So we'll get these all glued together. Yeah. I don't know if there's a good way that the Academy Guard are gonna stick unless I pin them. Let's see if I can. When does this stuff come out anyways? Teens with attitude. The word from Ninja is May. I'm saying, I'm going to go ahead and say January 2019. And I'd say that with no sarcasm or anything. I think they are so... Oh, they are so off with regards to their estimates. Now I'm just going to say that. I'm going to say January 2019. Or actually, you know, let's give them a little more credit. I'll say October 2018. October 2018. You're good. We got plenty of time. I'll probably be painting it for extra life. Oh, I love this little miniature Hasami, but I love her and I hate her. Yeah, maybe we should start like a pool or something. But yeah, I don't think, I mean, best case scenario, they have something by Gen Con, but I'm not holding my breath. I do not think that's very likely at all. Start betting. What's up, Korokro? Alright, let's do Scratchy Scratch. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this here. Like I said, I love this game, but I get really tired of defending it. I get really tired of... I'm like, you just have to look... I was thinking that today, like, realistically, is this game a blind spot for me? Is this my 40k that I keep defending and defending? No, it's a good game. No. And everyone's like, you're getting screwed by the manufacturer. You're getting screwed by the manufacturer. And I'm like, no. I don't know. Is it? It's something worth discussing. I gotta find that third prefect. Well, hold on. Before we do the third prefect, let's do Togan and Cecilia. Now, I've seen a lot of people do the thing where she's bashing him in the head with the books, like that, or we could do classic, reaching for the boudoir. I'm a big fan of the classic. I forget, do they go on a 50? I need to check. Do they go on a 50 or 40? Hello? Oh, you're coming in on my weird. Hold on one sec. Wait. I can fix it. Hold on. One sec. That should fix it.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
Hey, here we go. Hey, what's up, Pucheki? Thanks for the raid, buddy. Welcome to the feed, everybody. Thanks for the raid, Nix. Yeah, I'm in the middle of building some RK stuff, but we're Relic Knights, and I am gonna get back to painting the Star Lancer here in a minute. So in fact, let's just put for now, because I do actually need to get to the painting. So for now, let's put him here. Wait, whoops, hold on. I better check. This could be disastrous. If I go and I look at the character cards, oops, wrong one. If I go to the character cards and Tugan ends up being on a 40, that could be bad.
I'm pretty positive they're on a 50.
It says here. Oh, these don't say. You don't say. 50, there it goes. Alright. Alright. So I can put them there. Okay. Oops. No, I can't really put it. I gotta turn him. His hand has to be reaching. Yeah. It's gotta be. There we go. There we go. And then I'll probably just paint that separate. I wish you a great night. It's 2 a.m. and I'm ready to get my few hours of sleep. All right, thanks, Nix. Thanks for the raid. Have a good night. We're gonna get to the painting here very, very shortly. So here's what we're painting tonight, guys. This is the Star Lancer for Relic Knights. So you can see this is a resin miniature. So much cooler. Like, these are PVC. Boo! These are the resin miniatures. Yay! So one sec. I'm gonna try to find that third prefect before we get started here.
Didn't they switch to PVC for the second edition Kickstarter?
Not that I know of. I thought they're still sticking with resin.
You know what? I might have meant to say resin there.
Oh, there's 2 librarians in this set? Sweet! I wanted to run a 2 librarian list. Well, that's good. That's good news. Okay. But where's my third prefect? That's not a prefect.
Those are the.
Which prefect am I? There's the one with the book, right?
Which two do you have?
I have the girl with the sword, and I have the guy.
Yes, then you need
Oh.
the chick with the book.
I do not see her. I see the book. I've got the book here.
Oh, that's all.
This could be bad. Oh, there she is. I found her. No, she's. Wait, do I have two of them with the sword?
Possible.
And this one has a sword. Oh yeah, yeah.
The
Sorry.
first prefect box I bought, the chick with the sword, her foot was on backwards.
Where does this book even go?
It should have come with like a ring of like magic stuff, and it
Yeah.
sits on top of the magic stuff in front of her, so that her hand is like touching the book, like she's reading off of it.
Oh, so it's like that.
Yeah, she should be
So
like
it's like
pointing at
that.
Yeah,
Okay, and then you just glue the book to the top of that.
yeah.
All right, that's weird. Let's do it. I guess that's one way to do it. All right. So there we go. And I guess I'll just put the book. The book kind of inserts there. Like that, right? And then this goes. Whoa. Yeah, it goes like, the book would go like that. Whoa, she just fell off. Okay, that's an interesting build. Let's I'm gonna have to take this off camera for a second to make sure. That is a terrible join. What an awful way to stick a miniature on.
Yeah. That's Wave 1 Relic Knights for you.
Yep. Okay. Oh boy. That did not even stick. What are you working on tonight, Mark?
I am painting
Oh,
up,
hi, Mark.
I'm painting up Chuck from Rumble Slam.
Oh, nice. Clown Man's.
He's
He's a clown and a man's. Alright. Okay. I will need to get rid of this stuff because it's making me mad. And I want to paint good things. I don't want to work on annoying things. Her foot is on backwards. Look at that. Her foot's totally on backwards.
It's the exact problem that I had.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm not gonna judge. We didn't see that. Nobody saw that. That was just... What? Who? What? What the hell, dude? Did not see that. Nobody saw that. Anyway, let's put all this crap away. I didn't mean it. We're gonna go paint good things, and this is what we're gonna work on. Alright. Put all this crap away. Okay. So, I need to do more layers of white on him. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build these up really slowly. And I'm going to airbrush it so that I don't have thick brush lines bothering me. Of the mini was free. It was, yeah, that actually was essentially free. And I'm selling it to the client at a massive discount. But I am still charging her for my, the full rate of labor because of the fact that it's a refurb. Like, I was trying to just get her to buy them off me as is, like unpainted, because I was selling that for like a song, right? That was it. It was like for nothing. But she wanted me to paint them, and I'm like, okay, well. So I'm like, here's the price, like $20 if for unpainted, but painted, like 10 times that cost. She's like, nah, I want them painted. So, anywho. So we're gonna continue to layer up the white here. Make sure my pressure is good. Alright. And now I'm gonna go get, I need my actual dead white color. That's the model color white. Airbrushing white sucks because white really loves to spit. It's just a
Airbrushing
yeah.
White sucks. Painting white sucks. Using white in general just sucks.
Airbrushing, yeah. Actually, airbrushing white is still better than brush painting white, if you ask me.
How did it get? What?
Right?
I'm having my own problems with white. I was painting white on the clown's face and suddenly it became gray.
Yeah, that can happen. Why do I have all my plastic putty in here? Plastic putty looks like, from the top, looks exactly like the dead white model air color.
Do they sell that the plastic putty in your description at LGS?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Alright.
They don't always have it, but Yvonne will usually notify me if it's there, because I like to keep a stock of it. But I'm good for the time being, so next time it comes in, I can let you know it's there. Well, provided she tells me it's there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. Until then, I'll wait and order the seppuku based stamps.
Oh, nice.
Until I have it.
Alright, so here we go. So we're going to go with this dead white. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of glaze medium. Just to... No, I won't actually. Let's see. Let's see if I can get it to not spit. No, I'm gonna need to thin it. I can even hear, hold on. Let's get at the problem before it even becomes a problem. So I'm gonna clean my nozzle. So I'm using a 0.15 needle, which is very fine.
Fine.
Very fan. But yeah, we played 2.0 Mark. I've played it a couple of times now. Well, actually like 3 times now. And I gotta say, I like it. I think it's a very good game. It's more random than the 1.0 in that you rely a lot more on card flips, but your success rates for doing stuff is about the same that it was before. It's just, you know, you do have it's less emphasis on the hand building and a lot more emphasis on combat. So a lot, even though the games are still like 15 to 45 minutes on average, a lot more combat happens in that time. So it still feels like arcade, which is great. You go through your deck a lot faster. And I don't know, it's I like how they manage activations now without the dashboard. Essentially, the way it works now is you have, for a game, you have 4 command tokens, right? So, and when it's your turn to go, there's no turn order, turn structure the way most games are. Like once the game starts, it just goes perpetually, right? Until somebody hits the VP necessary. So when it's your turn to go, you can use 2 of your 4 command tokens. You pick, so you select a unit, and then you do its full activation. You put the command token on it, and you do a full activation. And then when it's your turn, so you do that twice. You can't pick the same unit twice in a row during that activation. But on the next activation, you can go back and pick, you know, one of the 2 units you just went with. The only difference is you can only do like initial moves and special moves called surges, which are like just specific little actions you can take. But normally, let's say you have 4 tokens. The first time you go, you pick 2 units and you put the 2 tokens down. The second time you go, you put the other 2 tokens down, and as soon as that's over, you pull up all 4 of your tokens and the process starts over again. And any unit that didn't have a command token at the time that you picked up all 4 of your tokens gets what's called a power token, which allows them to kind of further stockpile their Esper draw. So it's like powering up essentially, right? So very anime themed. You could spend a whole episode or 2 of DBZ powering up. There's a number of changes, like ciphers can be killed now. They can also cap objectives. And there's, you know, there's no held Esper in the game either. Most of it's like Esper draws, and it's more the card flipping mechanic is more like if you married some 2.0 like M2E with the game. So you can top deck stuff. A lot of times though, you're going to have that in your hand because you cycle the deck so fast in the game.
I was
But oh, go ahead.
My Victorville group was supposed to try that today, but my printer ran out of ink like halfway through printing stat cards.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but it sounds a lot like they actually, well, I think like you said, they kept a lot of the 1.5 magic while fixing some of the stuff that kind of needed to be fixed.
Yeah. So it feels a lot like 1.5. But it's a lot. There's a lot more happens in the game.
All right. I like that because most games of 1.5, there was like zero. There were like very few reasons why you'd actually need to get into combat with somebody.
Yeah.
Especially
This game,
there's a lot of ways that you could get out of it.
Right. There's actually engagement range in this game, and I feel like melee is a really good thing. Most melee abilities now have a charge attached to them. And, you know, with cover being so good in 2nd edition, melee abilities are a lot more devastating when you pull them off. Ooh.
So it's just
Get some spitting going.
It's just looking at some of the cards. And saw that a lot of the old knights, just from a cursory glance, look like they still played more or less the same.
Yeah, they feel the same. I mean, they changed individual cadre abilities, but the changes are still within the spirit of that knight. Like Malia's cadre ability is disgusting, which is basically discard a card and you get to go twice your initial move. It doubles.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then like Sebastian Cross, his cadre ability is if you discard a card, you gain armor 1. So pretty good. The cadre abilities are all pretty good. Oh, come on. Yeah, still spitting.
Good, because in 1.5, a lot of them seem to like negligible. Like Carbon Alphas in particular was like basically useless.
Yeah. Yeah, I even like Marie Claude's cadre ability was good. Now, so hers is you can discard a card to gain a free press. Like that's pretty amazing.
And the presses are the bonuses.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, also the games are played to like 4 or 6 VP. So like a 35-point game, you only played a 4 VP. And capping an objective, which you can only cap an objective once, but like capping the opponent's primary objective is worth 3 victory points. So if you're playing a 4-point game, 35 points, you manage to cap their primary. You only need to kill one thing to win the game. So the games are super fast. They're very decisive.
Huh.
Yeah, man, I'm getting some spittle.
I think that's what our sort of concession was to 1.5 was that kind of had to play it to just like 6.
Yeah, they were recommending playing to 8, and we were saying no, we really only want to play to 6. 6 is the perfect spot for 1.5. The 4-point games were nice. Like even with us not knowing what we were doing, the games were still over pretty fast. And you feel like you got a good tactical Like you got a good tactical experience, even though it was a 30-minute game, and that's hard to say. You know what I mean? There's a lot of games now that are gunning for like an hour or less.
Well, I'd say like since I'm painting it, Rumble Slam. It's a really good game, but it is not that tactical of a game.
No. Yeah, I would agree. It's a lot more beer and pretzel, that game.
Yeah, it's like maybe you could do a little bit of strategery with what you're running, but it's ultimately it just depends on what. It depends very heavily on what shows up on the dice, and that's kind of exactly how it's supposed to be.
Right. What's up, Aloha Crusher? The islands are also hot and humid. I'm assuming you are tuning in from Hawaii? Is that fair to say, sir?
Oahu. So, yes.
Oahu. Sweet. Yes. I enjoy Oahu.
Wanted to be sure I didn't accidentally offend one of your viewers.
It's impossible to offend my viewers. They're watching this show.
I really thought you were going to say they're watching this shit.
Yeah, they're watching this shit. Thank you. You corrected me. They're watching this shit. Yeah, it's true. I think we can all take pride in that. This show gives no fucks. And if you're offended watching this show, you're watching the wrong channel.
True.
This is not a good show for the thin of skinned.
Or the faint of heart.
Or the faint of heart. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. So Andrew is like now doggedly looking for more pieces. The Star Lancer we found out is ridiculous. I was born in the mainland, but you're from Hawaii. Nice, man. Can you send me some malasada? Because I desperately need that deep fried bread, man. I love the malasada. You know what I'm talking about. You can get malasada most places in Oahu.
When you say that, Andrew is doggedly looking for a Relic Knights because one of the guys up here, he has a bit of a hobby of buying more shit on eBay than he should. So what he did was put bids on 3 like Relic Knight lots and ended up winning them all.
Nice.
We got a whole bunch of Relic Knights coming, and I don't know when that game is actually going to.
Like I said, we're playing Vaporware, and I'm cool with saying that, as long as everybody we're playing with knows that we're playing Vaporware.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're I got Mark in the Discord. We're talking specifically about Relic Knights 2.0. So if you'd like to talk about Relic Knights 2.0, that is the topic. And we do restrict the chat to subscribers or what we call contributors to the channel. So so please bear that in mind. I gotta have something for the subs, man. I gotta show some appreciation. Hey, thanks for the follow, Aloha Crusher. I'm not that interesting, just curious. Yeah, I try to do Discord chat once a week. I don't always remember to do it, but yeah, we try to do it once a week. Especially if there's a topic that I know, like that I know that people will want to talk about, like Arcade 2.0. Like I was saying, Andrew was really interested in participating. Besides my lack of input or experience with the topic, yeah. Yeah, Congo was gonna hop in, and I'm like, Congo, we need to talk RK. And he's like, okay, I'll wait. and he went to bed.
Well, I'm sorta local to CQ Victor Rising. Where I live, there is no game store, so I kinda end up driving down CQ on Thursdays and sometimes when there's special events.
The occasional weekend event as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Believe it or not, though, I mean, you play at CQ more frequently than a lot of the locals play at CQ. The fact that you're there almost every week is like more frequent than a lot of the other locals.
That's my superpower.
Like I could
Showing up
probably
places
name
more often that aren't local to me than the actual.
you are the most travel. You gotta go. Also, great content. Keep up the good work. All right, man. See ya. Also, that's the nicest thing an 11-year-old will ever say to you. All right, thanks, man. That probably is the nicest thing an 11-year-old would ever say to me. So I'm bringing that white back on this. You can see he's gradually getting brighter. And again, this is better for me than using a brush. Like if I was trying to brush these layers on and trying to keep them this smooth, I'd be really upset right now.
You don't want to get upset. That ends in just more rant.
More rant. I was gonna
There
put
is
the
one
rust
they
bucket
want.
together tonight, but I was like, yeah, I gotta wash it. And I actually want to pin it because it's a big mini. But damn, that thing is cool. Not as cool as the Castellan. Castellan I still think is the best model in this entire range. Have you seen, Richter, have you seen the Castellan? Let me show you the Castellan because I brought it out earlier just to show people, like, you want to know why I haven't given up on this game? Like, let me show you. Let me get this white, though, back layered up on this homie.
Still, just I really want to play it, but I'm also a little bit hesitant, just because
Yeah.
I can't say.
You've been hurt before.
Yeah.
We've been hurt before.
To quote Vitriol, I've been burned.
Alright. This is why. This is why guys like me and Mark and other diehard Relic Knights fans will play Relic Knights. And I gotta turn my... I gotta zoom out for this. Because it's big
And
times.
also, really anybody who is a fan of Gundam.
Yeah. So...
Like, if you like Gundam, you should be playing this game.
Right. So this is the Castellan. And I added her because you gotta have her. You can't just do... I mean, as awesome as this miniature is, giant lance and all, just rad at the world. Like, that makes it anime right there. I mean, obviously that's anime, yes, but that makes... Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
That upgrades it from Gundam to, well, not upgrades, but
Like,
that makes it from
I could-
Gundam to Infinite Stratos.
Yeah, like, I could break open my, I had words. I could break open my case and show all the different Relic Knight stuff, and it's so good. Honestly, if, let's say, I thought about it, and I was like, we have rules now. If they took another 7 months to come out, which I'm I'm wagering they will. Yes, she is to scale. Um, um, and we had the beta rules. Like, me and Mark would be fine because we have enough anima to proxy whatever the hell we want for this game. And I'm still going to end up proxying anima for at least for the rank and file troops that have sculpts that I don't like.
Yes. Hell, I might even end up proxying some Malifaux. Bullshit.
True.
But I kind of just wish they'd release like more characters. Like, the book / Wave 1 stuff feels kind of
just
it feels like it's living it's making the same mistake the 1.5 first wave of releases did, in that it's just really bare bones.
I want rules for the questing nights, the Malia questing night, and specifically Malia questing night and Sebastian Cross questing night and Calico Kate questing night.
I want rules for
I have all those minis. I want to play them. I have the Space Dandy unit. I want to play that. I feel like we've been supporting this system when it's been considered long dead. You know, we were still faithfully collecting it, and I want to be able to continue to play it until such time that they actually break out the 2.0 stuff. I think that's reasonable. All right, let's go ahead and paint some blue.
Now, do you think that 1.5 stats would work in the 2.0 system?
No,
Okay.
I don't. I think that I think that the abilities, the cadre abilities, would be fairly underpowered. For one, the attack, defense, armor stats, you could probably make those work. Armor is an interesting one because armor works differently now. So if you took a passive armor save, what you have to do is you flip. Like if you have armor 3, for example, you flip you flip 3 cards, and if any of those cards have your primary Esper affinity on it, you reduce the damage by the amount that you flipped. You can still gain armor like old school armor if your defensive action has the keyword block in it. So, you know, a lot of Shattered Sword stuff, they still have block on their armor. In which case, you don't flip any cards at all. You just get whatever armor you bought with your Esper. So you could make it work. I think you could make it work with the stats, but the cadre abilities specifically, and then some of the points values would be wrong. Like for example, a Star Lancer is 10. I think he's 10 points in 1.5, and he's 5 points in 2.0. Which I think is wrong. I think it's way undercosted considering what we saw him do. Like, there's a reason why Andrew played. We played a game, and I lent Andrew my Shattered Sword, and he one-shotted Malia with the Star Lancer, and then immediately bought my Star Lancer off me.
Understandable. So, are they moving towards like larger scaled game?
No.
Okay.
Also good news. They're not moving towards larger scale games. Your standard 50-point cadre, still about the same amount of models that you were at. But there are like for example, the questing nights in general got more expensive. and then some of the units costs changed significantly. Like this is one of them. The tank for Black Diamond used to be 9 points. Now it's also 5. The Castellan I think is cheaper now, and the Diamondback. So the bigger guys are also cheaper.
I kind of like that because it makes them more. It makes the big toys more viable to bring to the table.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what they're trying to do.
Oh, for sure they were trying to do that. It's I'm kind of suspecting them of trying to do like the GW thing, where it's like, well, this model, those giant models cost a lot of money, but we're going to give them really, really favorable rules so that people want to field them.
But they probably wouldn't charge GW prices. But
well,
could
Castellans aren't cheap. Yeah, yes and no. The Castellan is not cheap, but it's not.
Yeah,
that same model for GW would probably be like $150, $200.
Yeah. Like I was looking at for the new Blood Elves, I was looking at some big snake lady. That one model plus one like non-big version of her was like $130, and no. That should never be a thing. I don't care what your rationale
Which blue so you can find it in 6 months? What blue was that? I don't remember. Oh, Prussia blue. Here you can scan. Oh, the price tag covered the scan. Oh man. Yeah, so they changed some costs around. I guess if if we really wanted to, we could use the old cards for the minis that don't have rules yet. Keywords are different too, so I don't know how we. But I think we could probably, like, if we were really desperate to play some of those other minis, we could. Is there one specifically you'd be interested in playing?
No, I was just curious. I mean, obviously, Wild Space Gabe. Actually, now that I think about it,
oh yeah,
Wild Space Gabe. Shit. What was the other one? Codifier Bray.
yeah.
And Questing Knight Kisa. Bring to mind.
Oh yeah. Questing Knight Kisa is such a good model. Oh my gosh.
She really is. She makes the novitiate kind of overpowered, actually.
Now the issue with Wild Space Gabe is that there's no longer Link in the game. At least not that I saw. Because you don't need Link anymore. You activate 2 units at a time.
Well, I never used the Link with him anyway.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that Kisa model is so good. I have, well, the issue I'm having is I don't know what faction I'm gonna really play. It's not a huge issue. I'm just gonna play 4 factions, but like, is there one I'm really gonna focus in on? I'm not sure. I'm torn.
Yeah.
There's too many reasons for me to play Corsairs, and well, Cersei is still, you know, one of my all-time favorites. Love Malia, both the questing and the Relic Knight version of her. Love Marie Claude. Although I feel she's, I'm worried she's a little overcosted in 2.0. Because her stats still aren't very impressive. Her cadre ability's cool. That whole, you get a free You discard a card and get a free press. That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have the same problem because I really like the look of Bang Bang. I gotta play whatever Dark Space Arikanto, aka Bayonetta, ends up because I gotta play Bayonetta.
Oh, I have no idea what faction she'll be playing. She'll be on. That's amazing, though. You're right.
Oh, and can't forget Dark Space Delphine, who is Kill La Kill. A lot of
figure
cool
out.
looking models, and it's gonna be really hard to pick a faction.
Yeah, I also really like Doctrine because Anthony is one of my favorite questing knights to play. And I do have one of the coolest Kisa conversions out there, if you ask me. If I may brag again. I do think my Kisa conversion is quite good.
That was so good.
And what's that?
It was so good, I stole it.
You stole it? Good. I hope
Yeah,
more
I
people
stole
do
the
that.
idea.
I want to
Just
see
need to,
her on. I want to see that on One Shot.
Yeah.
Anybody I don't like the pilot of, we just replace with what's the name of the character? The Nyan Nyan type character?
So it's like Echo something.
The furry.
Usumi. Oh.
Yeah. Like that model and Anthony are like have convinced me to keep my Doctrine because I almost sold them off many times.
The art for the new Doctrine Luck Knight looks pretty cool on the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the Zenatus. I know they had a relic. Oh, okay.
What's that?
About that? Nothing, don't worry about it.
I think that Relic Knights is, as far as miniature games are concerned, it really is a much, in my opinion, it really is a much smarter miniature game than your standard miniature war game. It's, and I don't know if smarter is the right term, but it makes you exercise different levels of, or different types of critical thinking. Like if you're talking like, you know, your standard miniature war game, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna shoot at this target, I need to roll XX to hit, my odds are gonna be this, here's the distance to the target, I need to weaken, you know, this much of the opponent's force in order to get, you know, my objective, right? That's your typical thinking and your typical mindset for most tabletop skirmish games or war games out there. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I love them. But Relic Knights is very different. Relic Knights is, I need to cap this objective in the next 2 activations before my opponent can score his final points. You know? I need to and I also need to figure out how to get him off my objective or stop trying to kill, you know, my critical piece. I need to figure out how to do this stuff without having, dumping an insane amount of resources trying to kill my opponent. Because Relic Knights it's good to it's obviously good to destroy stuff, but it's a lot more resource intensive in Relic Knights. And in Relic Knights, you're mainly thinking about managing your activations to be completely optimum, to make sure that you're going to score your points before your opponent can score their points. And if you're not thinking in those terms, then you've already lost, in my opinion. Like, you're already, forget it. You need to be thinking that way in terms of Relic Knights. If you're only thinking, I'm just going to keep shooting and shooting and shooting, it's good to shoot, don't get me wrong, especially in 2.0 where there's more combat. It's good to do that, but if you're not shooting at the right targets, the targets that are going to get you your victory points immediately, then you're going to lose. Your opponent's going to do things faster, they're going to do things more efficiently than you. They're going to make better use of their activations, and they're going to make better use of their cards.
Hey, but shooting's the best, Octave. Come on now.
Hey, what's up, Andrew?
Hey, it's all good. I could only talk for like a minute. I just gotta rep that
No worries.
Star Lancer is the best unit in the game, and also, I don't know. I think this edition's really good. You know, like 2.0, they did it pretty justice, and I mean,
Yeah.
The thing is, everything swings like a truck in this edition, like everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, I gotta go, guys. Bye.
You got rope? All right, see you, dude.
Later.
He came, he ate, he shot, he left.
He did the thing. He talked about things.
He came, he spooged his knowledge all over us, and he left.
That's sounding a lot like a worker placement game. I do think that this game will carry a certain amount of appeal to your non-traditional miniature gamers, the same way 1.0 did. 1.0 is a great, like, miniature gamers did not like 1.0 because it didn't behave like a war game. And that was the most confusing and upsetting thing for them. Some of our biggest converts for Relic Knights were people that had never played a miniatures game because they didn't have that expectation. They were expecting a tactically strategic game, and they got it. It really is a very different kind of mindset, and that's why I'm thinking, like, if we really pushed, if Ninja really pushed and sold the idea of playing this game to your anime crowd, your manga fans, and even your board gaming people, I think they would have a better audience. The wargamers are too disenfranchised with this game. They don't like what it is. When Relic Knights is doing what it's supposed to be doing, they don't like it.
I remember this was and has been a sticking point talking about Relic Knights, is that they shouldn't even bother trying to market it at. They shouldn't waste their time marketing it at tabletop gamers. Like, let cultural osmosis handle that. They should really be going to anime conventions and comic book conventions and stuff like that. With their board and card games too.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I've myself like 7 minutes.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the idea that Relic Knights is perhaps a better game for people that aren't used to playing miniatures games, like the board gaming crowd, or just your anime fans?
Yeah, I think it's more. There's more room for error because back in the days, like in RK 1.0, like I'm pretty sure you mentioned this already, but the activations were so clean that literally
Yeah.
any veteran player would stomp a new guy. And now that there's no like flow, like back in
Yeah.
arcade like 1.0, there was a sort of like mat that you'd have to put your cards on, and then that would dictate your activations.
Right.
There's none of that. So there's not much pre-planning anymore. Now it's just you choose two things and then you go.
Right.
I think that's friendlier to the new crowd. And I mean, the fact that you have to flip cards on the fly, whilst it still allows the veteran players to hold their hands and kind of keep an ace in their sleeve, while allowing the new players and like in the game in general more randomness and fun to be had versus it being so clean, I guess you could say.
Sure. Yeah, like in 1.0, information was absolutely perfect. So you, as a veteran player, you could beat a new player 100% of the time. Like it's not even a question. Like, oh, you're going to lose 100% of the time to a player that is more experienced than you, or a player that can optimize their activations better than you can. And you know, it's really cool in theory to be able to say, wow, this game is so clean and so predictable that you'll get that result every time. But it's ultimately kind of bad for the gamers themselves, because it's like, oh well, I just started learning how to play this game, and you know, Andrew's a dick and I want to beat him, but I can never beat him. Like that could be.
Yeah.
I could see that. Now I'm not. I was gonna use our friend's name, Andrew, but it's okay. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
so,
yeah.
I mean, I agree. I think the only thing that allows someone to beat a veteran player, but here's the problem: is you could be a veteran arcade player, but the only thing that would trump a veteran arcade player, we're talking Relic Knight 1.0, by the way. The only thing that would beat a veteran arcade player would be a veteran miniatures game player, because a veteran's miniature game player will see all the terrain, will see everything that is an option to you in the rulebook, and how you could position your models. Because a veteran miniature games player knows that positioning is like almost 25% of the battle. In some games, it's like 75% of the battle. So, like, that's the only thing that would trump a veteran arcade player back in 1.0, is if you were also a veteran miniature game player as well as a veteran arcade player. So it's like a double whammy at that point.
Yeah.
But now in 2.0, go for it.
I was gonna say you're absolutely right.
Go for it.
Also, if you were, but the thing is, if you were a war games, like a miniature player, and you didn't understand the concept of, I shouldn't attack every single activation, then you're not gonna do well in arcade, right? So you want to be a veteran arcade player and a veteran war gamer, so that you have both of those skills. But yeah, that's all I was gonna say there.
Yeah, I agree. I think you need, in Arcade 1.0, if you want to be like super good, you'd have to have both those in your chamber of skills, which is kind of daunting to a new player, especially when the game is so clean. It almost kind of it breeds power gamers to a certain point, which then you get the analogy at a tournament of someone saying that they're clubbing baby seals, which isn't appropriate at all.
Which
that
happened.
One was like that's the problem with 1.0. It brought that out of people, where literally it was all power gamers all the time. The best thing, nothing, you know. So
it seems like with this version too, that you can still. I feel that there are some really, really strong units in the game, but I ultimately feel like you can still play whatever you think is cool and have a reasonable shot.
I agree. This edition for sure, because everything hits like a truck. Like everything, literally, even the weakest guy can do like 8 damage in one turn.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that combat is very important, yes, but knowing kind of how to hold your hand also is very important because there were activations in our game where literally we were just like, oh, I can't do anything. I'm gonna shake your hand and have a cup of tea.
Well, plus we were learning the game, so we were throwing out attacks at each other just to see if they would work. So we were being more careless than normal with our hand. And then you got like the perfect spirit bomb hand there at the end.
That literally took me like 3 times milling the deck to get though, because like I think there was one instance where I had to play a wild in order to save someone. And I was like, dang it, I can't pull off like the ultimate combo, and then so I had to mill the deck one more time in order, because my Star Lancer was gonna die if I didn't play the wild. So I was like, shoot, I have to play it or else he's dead. And then I milled the deck one more time with Rook, because I think he draws like 8 cards or something ridiculous like that. Because if you dump your hand trying to save your Star Lancer, then you draw back up to 5, and then you have Rook go up, and he draws like, oh, hold up, one of my timers is going off. 1 sec.
No worries. Ah!
Alright, I'm back. Sorry, it was one of my, I was timing something for chemistry.
No worries.
Yeah, but I've got like maybe 3 or 5 more minutes left, and then I gotta go.
Okay. Well, good. Then it's all you, man. Say what you gotta say.
I was just gonna ask, Mark, have you played a game yet of Arcade 2.0?
Oh, I was supposed to today, but couldn't print out cards because my printer is full.
Ah, shoot. Yeah, because I wanted to hear what Mark would think. I think it's a good game, and unless there's something broken, they shouldn't change much about it, because I feel like right now it's at a good place.
Yeah.
So hopefully...
and the game flows really well now.
Oh yeah, and there's definitely a lot of stuff you could still do. I mean, I definitely saw some nerfs to otherwise like super OP champions. Like Cordelia Clean got nerfed. She's still strong, but she got nerfed.
There, she really needed to be nerfed.
Yeah, she like that was a strong faction back in the days. I still think they are strong with the new stuff. It's just the older stuff like Candy and Cola. Candy and Cola is actually strong as well, but in a more supportive manner. Because last edition they were the super solos. Now they make other people super solos.
I'd say that Candy and Cola were kind of a mix. Like when I played them most of the time, they were supporting either supporting novitiates, keep calling them that, prefects, or grabbing objectives. So
I think he's
a gun battery.
Oh, okay.
Like back in the day, Candy. I think it was Candy or Cola had an AOE that would give you Held Esper, and I would toss that onto Candy, and so every turn, she's like basically one shot, but slightly better because it's more guaranteed with the Held Esper. Because I'd get a Held Esper from seeing Cola, and then I'd get another one from the AoE buff. And so it's like every time I'm guaranteed max damage. And also on top of that, I think if you pushed for a certain, I don't remember what it was, but I think it also added like a slow or something to the people that you hit, which was really good because it would prevent them from getting objectives. So
yeah,
that was strong. I'm not gonna lie, that was super strong. That was the crew I ran, I think, that won me the first tournament. And then I was like, this is too strong, and I started playing like other factions like Mihardi's and Shattered Sword. So I think the nerfs were definitely justified.
I'm just not necessarily afraid, but I want to see them leave Christina mostly alone, because she was kind of perfect the way she was.
Questing Nikisa?
Yeah.
I think if anything, they'll increase her cost, but then try to add more to her. Because I don't see them in this set. I don't know if they're gonna go with a 12-point questing night. I don't think that that's gonna be a thing anymore. It's like even Marie Claude was a. I'm sorry.
I think Mallory's pretty close to 12. He's kind of cheap.
Yeah, I think he's like 14 right now.
Yeah, he's super cheap.
Also, hope you bring the app. Don't bring the ads back. Bring the app, please.
Hey, what's up, Kevin? Welcome to the feed. Model looking sick, man. You know why I'm painting this? Because Andrew's in the Discord right now. Telling us why I'm painting this.
I can't see it because I'm on my phone right now on break. So.
Well, I'm painting a Star Lancer. So.
Oh my goodness. All right, okay. Before I gotta go in like 2 minutes. But before I go, I gotta explain the awesomeness that is the Star Lancer.
Oh well, Kevin's asking. He saw it firsthand. The awesomeness. But go ahead.
Kevin, oh yeah.
Go ahead and tell us. Well, tell for Mark's benefit too.
Okay, Mark. So the Star Lancer is basically the new Paragon guy, like the Paragon Solo, and so he costs 5 points, but you never want him at base value. You want to pay that the sweet 2 points to get his special ability. And what that does is, if you hold a wild in your hand, if you discard it, you get to fire your Star Lancer again for free. Like the wild is the payment for firing it again.
Yeah.
So if you're able to get off the full push of a Star Lance, I think it's like 6 or 8 damage, right, Octave?
I think it's 8 with the yeah.
And then you can discard a wild card and do it again, but it counts as a completely new action. So even if they block the first one, they have to somehow have enough in their hand to block the second one, or it's just full damage. But the thing is, there's 3 wild cards in an Esper deck, and I milled the deck like 2 or 3 times in order to have 3 wilds in my hand, and I think I one-shot Princess Malia, right?
You did, yeah. You killed her in one shot.
And that's because... Oh, go for it.
Oh, go ahead. I'll wait till you're done.
Oh, but yeah, so it's like, that was one of the things in the game where I was like, if you really plan ahead with your hand, like, having 3 wilds in your hand really does eat up a lot of space, but when you're playing Shattered Sword, you're so tanky that that's kind of okay.
Yeah.
And you're milling the deck so fast because every time you block something, you're drawing your hand back up to 5. So it's pretty dope. Yeah, I think that was probably one of the most anime moments I've ever seen, because the Star Lancer is just like dodging bullets, trying not to get assassinated, and then he just drops the 5-round laser.
The payload.
Yeah, so technically he got... Oh, go for it.
I was gonna say the one thing is, okay, so we've seen huge damage output in 1.0 in the form of rapid fire, which still exists. So rapid fire is, if you have the Esper to pay for the ability, you can pay for it multiple times and keep hitting. This is different. This is you throw the wild and the action happens. There's no you don't have to, it was like, I think with the Dark Space Candy, it wasn't, you didn't need 3 green every time you wanted to do a kick. This is you just drop the card and bam, it happened again. And so you have to go, the defender has to go through the same process of trying to do the defensive action like Andrew was saying. And if you don't have it in your hand, like I had it enough to block it once, but he had 3 wilds, so I had to block it 4 times, and I'm trying to top deck the rest of my defense. And there's just no way. There's no way you'll ever have it, because 5 cards in your hand, you're talking probably 2 or 3 cards to get your defensive action to happen. So you're only going to be able to block the first one. So that's what made that so devastating. But yeah, it's crazy ability, and it's unique to the Star Lancer as far as I can tell. It's the other models have rapid fire, which is great ability, and you should take models that have rapid fire. But that
rapid
ability
fire
is
did get nerfed though. I was
Yeah.
reading the ruling on it, and it's good. It's still good because rapid fire is a cheap press. Normally, it's only one of the color you need.
Yeah.
But it basically increases the damage of the ability you're using by the number of rapid fire. So if it's rapid fire 1, let's say you have like 5 orange in your hand, right? You could increase the damage by 5, right? So it's
Okay.
not as good as previous editions where it's like, oh, you just do it
happens
again.
Yeah.
You're increasing the damage.
I want to say I did 40 points with a rapid fire kick in 1.0.
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
Yeah, that exists.
I remember at one point somebody rapid fire kicked my Dark Space Zenata, then it bounced damage back onto them until like one
oh gosh.
Dark Space Candy and just outright killed her right there.
Yeah.
That's kind of
But-
why I fell on the Dark Space Zenata.
I got to go. My break is over. I will
All
see
right.
y'all later.
See ya, Andrew.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Are you free Octave for a game?
Tuesday, I'm not sure. I do have to bring Chris his commission back, so I'll at least be able to stop by. But I'm not sure if I can stay in game. Maybe.
Okay.
I'll let you know,
we'll
dude.
see.
All right.
All right. Have a good one, boys.
Later.
Yeah.
Later.
But yeah, it's this game. Like Andrew was saying, a lot of the pieces now are capable of really high output damage, and defensive actions took a nerf, a general nerf. So combats are a little more decisive.
Yeah,
Except,
because-
dude, Shattered Sword, man, they can still tank it like mad.
If I remember from what you said, there is no fully blocking anything anymore.
Right. Guards now only have the damage.
Okay. That's good, because I always kind of thought that guards and dodges were a bit, not overpowered, but they needed to be, like, reworked. And
I thought they were overpowered.
yeah.
I will go out and say that I felt like they were overpowered. Specifically, like when you have a faction like Cersei, and you know if you built back in the day, you could build a Cersei list that had all guard, and so you could fly around the board full speed, and you didn't as long as you didn't attack anything, you could keep all your cards for guard. So if somebody tried to shoot you, like guard, and then it was very frustrating to play against, and that actually turned off some players in the 1.0 because it's like, oh, I just I paid all this for this attack, and Malia and Hell's Bells and all that just hit guard, and they're like, that didn't happen.
Yeah. But at least that's fixed.
Yeah, right. That's not a thing anymore, so that's good.
If only we could get the game in our hands. Damn.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we're playing. Let's see. Is Relic Knights still only Kickstarter? Relic Knights is. They did the Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter is now closed. The pledge managers and all that stuff is closed. So, right now, the only way to get a hold of it would be to buy it secondhand. They don't even have it. They're not even carrying it on the Soda Pop store right now. So that's the only place to get it would be, buy it on eBay or something like that.
That being said, however, once 2.0 officially comes out, I'm sure that they'll stock it up.
I think once 2.0 comes out, people will immediately sell their pledges.
Oh,
I think
that's
there's
what happened with 1.0 anyway.
Yeah, I think there are people that back 2.0 and they were expecting it to be something different, and so it's delayed, and so they're like, I'm not even going to play it when it gets here, so I'll just sell my pledge as soon as it shows up.
Which,
I think
mean, I'm not gonna say that's kind of childish, but I'm gonna think it very loud.
I've already heard that from somebody. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna sell my pledge as soon as it gets in. I'm like, okay, well, hopefully you sell it to somebody local to me, because I want more players. Yeah, that's where I'm getting the 404 errors. Yeah. Right. So right now, like I said, it's vaporware. It doesn't technically exist. But that didn't stop us before. Me and Mark, like I was saying at the top of this program, me and Mark were playing 1.5 when nobody believed that it was a game. Nobody believed that there were still miniatures, and I would show them, like me and Mark would show them the resin minis. And go, no, they're still making minis for it. Check it out.
Yeah. Really hope that this game doesn't get the it's a soda pop treatment that see some other games get.
Yeah. The Soda Pop has damaged their brand enough to where you just gotta expect it now. I was actually lamenting earlier, like, man, I love their stuff, but sometimes I get so tired of having to defend it. You know what I mean? And I even question, like, is this just a blind spot for me? Is this just like the people that blindly defend GW because they love it? Like, I can admit that the company does stuff that I don't like, and that I wish they did things differently, and I wish they released things differently, and they funded things differently. I can admit that. I can also admit that they have some games that need some work. The rule sets need some work, and they need to look at some stuff critically. But I still have fun playing their games. I mean, that's the bottom line. I think I can make the distinction between a game that I have fun playing and an objectively good or bad game. Just because somebody says that, that a game that I like is bad, it doesn't change the fact that I have fun playing it. And I think 40K players need to hear that when they need to hear that when I'm criticizing 40K nonstop.
Yeah, I also think that our enjoyment of RK comes from the fact that we and everybody should be able to separate a company from the product, a company or a person from the product that they make.
Sure.
So, I think that I personally think that Joss Whedon is a garbage fire of a human being, but I still love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's
fair. That's fair.
Still a really good show. And I realize I'm not saying anything new by saying that.
Yeah.
It's like people aren't always the product that they make. And
right.
I think we both have our fair share of beef with Justin, but that doesn't affect that you think
right.
this is a really good game, and I think that it has a whole lot of potential to be a really good game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna let this dry for a minute and glue these Academy Guard in. Justin does stuff that I don't really like, truth be told, but he did it. I can say, with no amount of disrespect that I like the job that he's done with 2.0 here. I do think that he took stuff from Malifaux. He took some modern game design elements that should have been in 1.0 or 1.5 and brought them to the game, and I like it.
And honestly, if I'm being brutally 100% honest, not being able to separate person from the work can sometimes come across as kind of, I guess, childish. How can you say that a product is bad if you've never tried it? I can say that I don't like Doctor Strange because I watched the first 10 minutes of it and bored the shit out of me. I can say that I like Tokyo Ghoul because I'm watching that and enjoying that.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I mean, it shouldn't. Yeah, some people, especially today, these days. People want to like or dislike things simply because they know the politics or whatever of the creator,
or simply
or
because
their Twitter antics or something like that, right?
or
It's
simply
usually like,
because X influencer liked or disliked Y product.
yeah,
That's another one that came up that I really don't like.
oh gosh, yeah, this isn't working out. I'm gonna have to pin these. Damn it, I don't want to pin. Ah, I will have to pin. Okay, message received. Hey, what's up, Mario Brezen? Welcome to the feed. Yeah, I am pinning. That's just what I'm gonna have to do. Welcome to the feed. Thank you for the follow. This is what we're actually working on. Don't worry, we'll get back to that in a minute. Or not. Actually, let's just get back to it now. I don't want to mess with this crap. Let's just paint the rest of this fun miniature and ignore the not fun thing that's happening. Yeah,
Ignore the bad times.
what?
Ignore the bad times.
Ignore the bad times. We're only going to talk good times right now. Where's my glaze medium? Here we go. So I'm going to get a little bit more shadow on the miniature. It's looking a little too bright right now. And I want to have... Hey, what's up? All right. When I see miniatures like this in their new catalog of stuff, that Voltus, you're right. I totally agree. That Voltus is awesome. You want to know the sad thing? I backed RK super hard, and I bought almost none of the relics. And I know that's going to come back
That's
and haunt
funny.
me.
Because if I remember correctly, I picked up the Zeneda relic?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Jean one. No, I might have passed on Jean because I picked up 2 of the Possessed Twilight Knight.
Oh, you picked up 2 of those?
Yeah, one of them's for Alfred.
I picked up one for Kevin. Kevin wanted one. And I picked up one for me.
Those, Questing Night Pledge, Possessed Twilight Knight, Zeneda. Yeah. I just really like the look of the art for that relic. For all the new relic knights, actually.
Yeah.
From what we've been teased.
I wasn't 100% on the Marie Claude art relic knight.
Yeah, I'd
no.
say that was one of the few weak relics.
But yeah, I did like all of them, but my thinking was, well, I want to get the squad stuff because I'm pretty sure, again, I was kind of banking on being able to buy the relics secondhand. But that might have been a mistake.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm not too beat up over not going quite as full in on the pledge manager as I had initially thought I would, because like you said, people are going to be putting out their stuff on
eBay.
Yeah, eBay. I don't know why.
Were English
Remember
words?
what eBay is. I'd say again, to that mindset, I can't understand it. I can't understand not playing the thing that you paid for it just because it delivered late.
Yeah. I'm mad now. Oh, it's here? I'm just gonna sell it.
I'll show you.
The story I've got from people is that, you know, they were excited for it, they got their friends excited for it, it finally showed up, and then their friends were no longer excited for it. That's the story I hear most often. That's why they. I'm not saying I agree with that, or that it's even, or that they're even telling the truth. I'm just saying that's the story that I get. It's like, well,
Yeah. I can understand that, but at the same time, it's like I'd say
It's petty.
At that point, it's petty,
Yeah.
and it's also 50%. The blame's like 50-50. It's 50% on Soda Pop for having their products be so goddamn late, and it's 50% on the person for falling into the hype cycle that Kickstarter pushes.
true.
And I know because I have fallen into that hype cycle before for Relic Mates. And at first
Yeah.
we were one of the burned people here. Probably the
Yeah.
most burned, considering how hard we pushed this fucking game.
We were the vitriol of this game. We've been burned before.
Yeah. We were burned and then they nerfed the shit out of us. And honestly, after taking some time to think about it and think, well, maybe it's not entirely on Soda Pop's fault, because I knew when I got hyped, I knew full well their track record with stupid Kickstarter delays.
Yeah.
Bullshit like that.
I had it originally pegged as a year late. So when it got to the year mark, I was like, okay, I was right. And then I was more right than the year.
And then more and more.
And then even more right. Yeah.
I just wish that I hope for Ninja and maybe possibly Soda Pop. I have a hard time telling whether they're the same or different now. Going off of Kickstarter is that this bullshit that we're going through doesn't happen again.
True. I'll tell you what I'm amped about, though. It looks like I'm going to be getting my Way of the Fighter stuff before the RK stuff. And I'm much looking forward to that stuff as well. Like that. Those Way of the Fighter minis are dope as shit. And I'm thinking I'm going to put them on 30mm clear bases. And then if I want, I can use them for RK minis as well.
That's dope shit.
Alright.
I kind of want to drift into using clear pieces for more.
Yeah. If we can get Gabe to like make us a stockpile of it,
Yeah.
I will be a very happy man.
I don't know if I'd use it for everything, but I'd certainly use it for most things.
I'm just gonna straight up ask him. Can you make?
It's like tug on his sleeve one day. Gabe, do the thing!
Gabe already makes those cool widgets that I give out.
That I have 3 of.
They are really good widgets.
Yeah, I use them for like everything. For all my
Right.
widgety needs.
Okay, so now all I really have to do is just highlight this blue. And we look pretty good. Looking pretty good. Damn, I love these minis. So good! Damn it! Come on, Soda Pop. Come on!
Except for, and I'm just gonna say it, a lot of the first wave.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the resin wave. All the
yeah,
resin
yeah.
shit was so good. Everything they did in
Yeah.
resin was good.
That's true.
I gotta find my Asgore Faust. He's in one of the bags somewhere. I
Gotta
have
find
the
mine
Faust
too.
Devil. Oh, Oh, and
found-
Asgard. Oh, go ahead.
I found most of my Black Diamond list. I think actually I found all of it. Actually. And I looked at Suspect 7, and my first thought was, I'm gonna gather Anima Tactic instead of you. Because those models are horrible.
Yeah.
It has to be said. The Suspect 7 plastic models are horrible.
They are pretty terrible.
So much better having a set.
I'm gonna use Anima Tactics as like my Swordsworn and I know I ordered Swordsworn for 2.0. But like I'm gonna use them as Swordsworn and Purifiers and all my rank and file stuff. They're gonna be Corsairs as well. And then even like Novitiates.
I was also thinking of building like a couple of Kingdom Death armor sets and using those for rank and file units too.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about this, or you were talking about this on the stream, that we have no shortage of minis to use as proxies for this game.
Yep. I post pictures of the Anima Tactics shit on the arcade Facebook group, and people are like, "Oh my god, is that what the 2.0 minis look like?" No, that's just us. Like my Academy Guard are those gears. Well, you know, you've seen me field those all the time.
Yeah, I've seen the swole bots.
Swolebots. People are like, "Are those the new Academy Guard?" And I'm like, "No, I just don't like. I don't like these things. These things bug me."
Yeah.
What the? They look like Beaker to me from Muppets.
And as much as I love her, our Space Zenata is also kinda. He's kinda. Metal noises.
She's okay. She's not.
I think her big problem
not
is she's
great.
proportionate.
Yeah, she does have some weird proportions.
It would work in a no empire like list /
Yeah.
army, but she's not no empire.
Right.
I think they really should have taken her down to human scale.
Oh, human sizes for that? That would be
Yeah.
cool. That would be cool.
That's kind of what I hope they do, and what it looks like they've done with the Bayonetta mini. You know, I want to use that for so many things. So many things I want to use that Bayonetta mini for.
And the Dark Space Sasami. Hasami. Dark Space Hasami.
Yeah. Dark Space Salami does look pretty good.
Dark Space Polska Kielbasa. Who is the guy from Anima Tactics?
I forgot about Pulse.
What the hell? Oh, Richter thinks they look kind of cool. They would not be on my table right now if somebody didn't hire me to paint them. Because I have no interest in playing those.
They would not.
I could show you what I've replaced them with, and you might go, okay, I could see that.
Well, I am gonna clock out there. I'm exhausted.
It is quite late, sir.
Plus, Paul's good kielbasa feels like just the message for me.
The right way to end the feed, or end your stay here. Polska
Yeah.
Kielbasa, pretty good.
The moral
Paint
of the
them
day.
like Beaker.
The moral of my my existence in this stream is Paul's good kielbasa.
Oh man, I don't know why we think that's the funniest shit ever. Like
It's
I'm gonna activate
thing.
Polska Kielbasa.
it's the same thing as hey, guy, fuck you.
Oh man. Alrighty, dude.
Alright, I'll
Well.
talk to you later.
Yep. I'll let you know about this week. Have a good one.
Alright, you too.
Good night. We're gonna finish this dude. Meanwhile, you're in Warsaw, so you can tell. I do love my Polska kielbasa, don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorite things. I love Polska kielbasa for breakfast. It's a good breakfast meat for me. And I love Polish hot dogs. So good. The Polish style hot dogs. Going to Portillo's and having that dog, really good. Pretty good. I think I need one more layer of highlights though. Kind of punch it up one last layer. Yeah, RK is it in theory, if it was delivered better, if it had a better more consistent release schedule, and it had good company support, it would easily be my favorite game. It would easily be my favorite miniatures game. But, you know, it's got its issues. Best kielbasa in the galaxy, dude. I agree. Gotta love that Polska kielbasa. The joke is, there's a character, a samurai character in Anima Tactics, and his name is like Tsubasa something, right? And just us being damn ignorant Americans. So we're offending two cultures at once, because we're talking about a samurai, mispronouncing his name, and then confusing him with a Polish sausage. So just to make it as offensive as possible. Ooh, that's too much. Luckily, it's part of a glaze, so it should calm down a little bit. I'll wait till Doctrine is cheap. Well, the big nights like that, well, maybe they'll go on special at some point. I really don't remember what I ordered. I basically filled out like 3 or 4 factions, but didn't take the big nights. But there's so many good. If you're already talking relics though, even the PVC relics are awesome. They're just great to look at, and they're super fun to paint. Just doing a little top level highlight. But this miniature is fantastic. I mean, you're no anime guy? No worries, man. It was one of my draws to the game, is that, hey, I like anime and I love miniature games. Why don't they have an anime themed miniature game? And so, you know, I played Infinity, and I was okay. It was not enough anime theme for me. What are you doing? Let's get us in closer so we can actually see what's going on. Yeah, Infinity was a little too close to 40k for me. and really high bandwidth. So I was like, I had fun. I had a lot of fun painting Infinity, but really not into the game. Then you had Anima Tactics, which I absolutely adored. Loved that game. Still love that game. And the fact that it went under made me super, super sad. So you had that game, and then this game. And this game was, of all of those games, this game is the most anime of all of them. It has the most like anime inspired art and themes and everything. Followed you on Instagram. Oh, thanks, man. I just like the concept on that sculpt. Mix of metal, magic, warlock, and yeah. That Voltus is a really cool. Doctrine has some really fun thematics to them. I have the current Doctrine Relic Knight, and I converted her a bit because I didn't like the rider. The rider miniature is awful. The giant robotic cat is amazing, but the rider piece is just horrible. Thanks for the follow on Instagram, Mario. I appreciate that. But yeah, as you can tell from my Instagram feed, like I'm painting wise, I tend to be kind of all over the place. It depends on what people hire me to paint, and then also I play a ton of different miniatures games. So RK was always the game that fit no matter what, like because you can get in games for. Historically, you could get in a game of RK in like 30 to 45 minutes. So like on a typical evening, we could play like 2 of the bigger games and like 2 games of Relic Knights to just like kind of kick things off. So is each faction all about support pieces for the Relic? Yeah, well, each faction you have you have your Relic Knight, right, which is the character itself, and then its Relic, which is the giant mecha usually that it's riding. And then all the factions are, and then you build a cadre, basically a whole supporting cast that, you know, sort of reports to that that Relic Knight. Am I out of focus? I'm a little bit out of focus, aren't I? Yeah. It's okay though. Super fun. Don't have time for massive battles, so I stick with low model count games as well. Yeah, it's more than, for me, it's more than just the time. It's also your painting enjoyment, right? I do not enjoy massive batch painting. I mean, the most batch painting I'll do for a game I enjoy is for a game like Wrath of Kings, which runs a fairly high model count, especially for a skirmish game, but games like this, like, these are just, it's just fun to paint, you know, most if not all the pieces for this game. The PVC troopers are pretty terrible though, so I usually replace them with like metal Anima Tactics minis. But yeah, it's there's a whole different experience playing a full-size war game. For example, So it's more than just the time of that game, which is a huge factor though, right? Because you don't want your entire evening spent playing a single miniatures game. You're like, oh, is this my 1 to 2 nights per month, or maybe my 1 night a week to game, and you're like, oh well, I'm only gonna play this one game of 40k with one person. Like that's not, to me, that's not a good use of your time. Then you have like I was saying, the painting experience, not enjoying massive amounts of batch painting the same piece over and over again, and oh well, this one's kneeling and this one has a special weapon. It doesn't matter. Still the same Space Marine or the same Stormtrooper over and over and over again. It's not really fulfilling work, right? Then you have even stuff like, I even look at stuff like your table size. So if you're playing a full-sized war game, you're talking 6x4, 6x3, and you're like, okay, so now I can't even fit that table in my bedroom. I can't fit it. I might be able to fit it on a kitchen table, something like that. So then you have the table size you have to worry about. You go to the LGS and you're like, geez, I hope there's enough tables. But meanwhile, the board game players, they're fielding like a 12-inch by 12-inch game board, and they can play 6 players on that board, and you're the asshole with like 2 guys playing on a 6-foot by 4-foot play area. So then you have that play area, and then you also have storage and transport. You're like, okay, well, if I play a game like Malifaux or Blood Bowl or Relic Knights, I'm like, well, I can carry a case. I can carry a KR case or a Feldherr case, and just be portable and throw it in my car and go. If you're playing 40k, you have to have boxes of stuff, or a big, you have to have a big like Kaiser 3, Kaiser 4 for KR, or you have to have a Table War case, like a giant, like you're walking around with luggage for one army, for one 40k army. There's so, like, skirmish games to me beat the large scale war game on so many levels. Like every possible category, it's a better experience. The only thing that where I say, okay, a full scale war game is better, is honestly setting the miniatures on a board. Like if I'm going to take a picture, like a diorama of like, oh man, I play this game, assuming I had all painted models, there's another deficit, right? Like you're gonna play a war game. I talk about this all the time. If you're gonna play a war game with other people and you're gonna play it in public, like a full scale war game, you're much less likely to run into other guys that are rocking fully painted armies. And does it make you a snob? Not really. It makes you disappointed. You're like, man, I painted 2,500 points of Imperial Guard, or whatever they're called now, Adeptus Militarum, whatever. I painted all this stuff, and I'm across the table, and this guy's playing Tyranids, and he has mounds and mounds of gray plastic. Like, to me, that takes away so much of the miniature gaming experience. And I know people have criticized me for me being honest about how I feel. This channel is called Play It Painted. And I can say I've never played a miniatures game with unpainted minis. I don't do it. I don't even play board games with unpainted minis. But anyway, it takes away that experience. Like, oh man, like if I'm playing 40k, I know I can play pickup games with a number of people. I can play pickup games with 10 people, but 3 of those 10 people will have fully painted armies. You know what I mean? 3. And to me, it just takes away so much of that. I'm not playing these games for the rule sets alone. I'm not playing them so that I can prove I'm a better strategist or dice roller or whatever. I'm playing them for the full experience. I'm playing them because I want to see robots. You know, I want to see snake ladies. I want to see what else do I have on here? You know, I want to see superheroes. I want to see all of that. I want to see samurai. I don't want to see gray. I don't play these games so I can play plastic, like gray plastic, and look at other. I will never understand that. I will never understand that desire. Like, oh, you know, I'm just, you know, here we go, guys. Here comes my really cool thing. It's gray, and there's my other, and we're gonna just, oh, what do you have? I have this is a gray arm. I'm just gonna play this gray. Like, that's not, to me, it's not miniature gaming. Just go, like, seriously, just play cutouts. Just put cutouts on the board and play that. Like, we don't, and like it, you know, you get flack for saying stuff like that. It's true. Like, whoa, I don't have time to paint my stuff. But that's the experience. That's the me personally, and this is my time, not yours. This is me personally. If I have one night a week to game, and that's all I get, I'm playing shit, man. I'm playing this dope shit, and I want to play. I want the majority of my games, at least, to be against other people that, you know, paint or at least field mostly painted stuff. I want to be able to take pictures. I want to put on my Instagram and go, look, man, these are cool. You should play this game. I think if I played chess anytime soon, I'd paint it. I would actually, if I was a big chess player, I would buy a custom set to paint. But you know what I'm saying? It's immersion, like you said. Immersion's a part of it. And the aesthetic. You're playing a game. It's one of the best features of miniature gaming, right? Is that miniature gaming is art and math and science and critical thinking and even psychology all put together. You're playing and fantasy, right? Like, oh man, here's my cool mecha space freaking thing, and here I come, and I'm gonna shoot it. I'm going across the field, and yeah, but I have better rules, and I'm all gray, and here's my guy. Or even worse, like, oh, I'm just proxying this base. Here we go. It's just gonna blow up your mecha. Like, come on, man. Come on. I don't play that. I didn't sign up for that. Nobody wants that. Not nobody. Most miniature gamers. I call it the great lie. The great lie of miniature gaming that most of us buy into. You see that, here we go. This is my rant. This is like the 4th or the 5th rant. But it's like, you see the picture of Warhammer 40k. You see the apocalypse, like, oh, look at all those tanks and titans, and look at all the troopers, and they're shooting at each other, and it's so cool, and fully customized table with this awesome terrain, and like, oh my god, I need to be a part of that, and I'm gonna go to GW and spend $600 on plastic immediately. But you don't fulfill the hobby part of the bargain. And so you'll never get that. You'll play. I know guys that have played 40k for like going on 20 years, never painted their armies, and they look at like, oh, have you seen this new release? It looks so cool. Oh my god, I have to buy it. I'm like, man, you're gonna put it on the board. It's gray. Like, let's not lie. That's what you're gonna do. Or worse than that, you're gonna buy it and you're gonna put it in a box and put it in your closet. You know, I talk shit to like to my friends. I love my friends. They're awesome and they put up with my bullshit. But like my friend Jose, he buys stuff all the time. Like oh, it's so good, I'm gonna buy it. And I'm like, Jose, you're gonna put that in your closet. We're never gonna see it again. I'm like half upset because I'm like, I could have bought that and I could have put it on the board and we could have all enjoyed it. We could have all enjoyed it, Jose, but you bought it and you put it in your fucking closet. Like what was even the point of that? Now, granted, I could buy it off Jose. I could wait a year or 2 years and go, look, dude, you're not even playing it. Sell it to me below retail. You know, I love playing with and against painted stuff. I give factions when I'm trying to get people like a game, but tell them instead of paying me just to have it painted. Yeah, I mean, I get it. You have a lot of hobbies. You play video games, you go to school, you have your job, you have your kids, you have your wife. Hey, I'm there, dude. I got a career, I got 2 kids, I got a wife, I got all this other shit I got to do. But it's the hobby and the time I spend on the hobby is important to me. And if I was forced to play mostly unpainted stuff, like, don't get me wrong, somebody wants to play me and they don't have painted stuff and it's like, look, I didn't have time to do it. Cool, let's play. I don't care. Well, you're a fun gamer and I like to game with you. Let's play. But if that was the majority of my experience, no thanks, man. Nah. Whenever I start a new game, I always buy 2 factions anyways and paint them up fully on the chance that, like, nobody's gonna play it, and when they do play it, it's gonna be gray shit. I'm like, no, here you go. Like, play this too, so that I can at least, like, visually I can enjoy it. Like, I can enjoy that aspect of the game and the hobby. And yeah, if it comes off, if it sounds like if I come off critical, then I'm sorry, but it's true. Like, it's what I want. It's what I want, and it's what I want to do with my spare time. Is I want to paint shit and put it down and enjoy it on the battlefield and enjoy somebody else's painted shit, or even if they're fielding my painted shit, at least it's cool. Like, it doesn't bother me to loan people stuff, because it's like, well, when we're gaming, it doesn't bother me, because it's like, even people are like, oh, I'm gonna play, we're playing kickoff, and like, oh, I have my Masons team. I'm like, here, take my plastic painted Masons team, because it'll look cooler. I'm not doing it for like some totally altruistic reason. I'm doing it because I want to take pictures of the game, and when we stream games behind me, I want to have painted minis on my battle reports and on my game streams. I want to have, like, we were talking about this the other day with Star Wars Legion. Star Wars Legion is another game. It's a good game. It's a fun game. But the reality is, you're going to have a much larger proportion of people that have painted Empire, like all their stormtroopers and shit, and you're not going to have as many people with painted Rebels. So you're going to get used to, like, fighting gray Rebels. And Nelson and I were talking about this the other day, like, if you're playing, he watched Watch It Play. He watched Rodney Smith play Legion, and that's how he was trying to learn how to play off Legion, and the looking at a pile of gray stuff that he couldn't make out on video, he felt was a massive disservice. And I agree with him. I'm like, dude, you're Watch It Played. You're like one of the biggest board game channels on YouTube, and you have access to commission painters. You're funded on Patreon. You have subscribers. Like, hire somebody to paint it. It doesn't take long. I painted a whole set of Star Wars Legion in 5 nights. Doesn't take long. You can, especially for a commission painter, you don't need award-winning stuff, but you want to have stuff for your battle reports to look good. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm missing a bunch of comments here. But doesn't knowing the particular rules and bonuses of one faction important? Yes. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where that comments pointed at. But yeah, I really enjoy playing against people that start gray and, slowly paint their models over time and see their progress? Oh, for sure, man. I think it's great. I think that is great. Like, I really like when you have like slow grow leagues and stuff, and you have people that are brand new, and you're like, here, you buy this starter box, and this week we're only gonna play our starter box, and I like it when you have a community and you can build in those goals. Like, GW actually used to do this. They used to do like slow grow leagues, and you started off with I want to say like 250, 350 points. And the next week was, the goal was the next week or 2 weeks is to have a unit painted, right? So you had your game and then you had a hobby goal. And then by the end of it, by the end of like the 8 weeks or whatever, if you actually managed to keep up, you should have a working 1500 point painted army by the end of it. So I like stuff like that. But yeah, dude, that is in my opinion, that is the great fallacy of miniature gaming, is like we all bought into that vision of an incredible battle scene, of an incredible, like a diorama that was fully painted and based and gorgeous, and it's what we all want. We all ultimately bought into that originally, but maybe we didn't consciously understand that as the player, part of fulfilling that is on you, and trying to get your stuff done, or hiring, or if you failing that, maybe going out and hiring somebody to help you paint your stuff. So, anyways, when you're saying you loan peeps painted factions if they showed up with piles of gray, if it was something that I wanted to film specifically, then yeah, I'm like, no, dude, we're filming this, so take my model, play that. But like, if Andrew or whatever showed up and he's like, look, I just bought this blacksmith guild and I want to play it, I don't have a problem with stuff like that. It's just the week in and week out of. I remember I used to get really frustrated with a guy that I really liked gaming with. He was a really sharp gamer, but he took such a sort of defeated attitude when it came to painting your minis. He's like, whatever, dude, no one paints their minis. I'm like, maybe so, but why should we settle for that? It's your time, it's your hobby. You don't have to settle for that. You can seek out the games or the groups or players that want to have painted stuff at the very least, or will make an effort at the very least. You don't immediately have to resign yourself to never painting stuff. Oh, thanks for the follow, Jay Hipkin. Welcome to the feed. I know it's super late. I gotta get up early, but I'm having too much fun just painting this guy. Having too much fun painting the Star Lancer here. But yeah, I used to take a lot of flack for saying stuff like this back in the day. A lot of people were like, you don't know my life. They would see it as a personal affront. When I'd say, hey man, paint your minis, it's cool. You can't tell me what to do, you don't know my life. I'm like, well, okay, if you're not gonna paint yours, that's fine. I haven't been paying attention to your progress the whole time, and I have to say again, Star Lancer models looking dope. Thanks, dude. It's just a great mini. I usually paint a lot faster than this, but Sunday night, and it's late. I don't want to start anything new. I just want to, let's just put a fine point on this guy and enjoy him for what he is. Yeah. I can't wait. I picked up a rust bucket. Kevin, have you ever seen... Let me show you this. I'm going to show you this because I've shown it like 3 or 4 times on the feed already. But I need to show you this. just because I think it's cool. Okay. So if you want to see some mecha, oh dang, I gotta back the camera out again because this thing's gigantic. Okay. Here's what we're talking about, man. Like stuff like this. Like that's freaking awesome. Like that. This is a Castellan. And it's a giant resin kit. This I added her to it because she's rad and super fun. But all I gotta say is, yeah, this is why I love RK. You play stuff like that. That's why. If you told me, oh well, I'm just gonna play it like this, week in and week out, I'm like, aw, why? You know, like, aw. Need to get more people to understand they can use a sealer like a save point, for sure. But yeah, I mean, aesthetically, the game is ridiculous. Like, should be playing it, but yeah. Let's just do a little more highlighting on it. I mean, it's done. This is a done miniature. I'm just making sure it looks as cool as I want it to look. I will be painting a lot of RK this week because I have a commission for the San Diego Ninja Corps. She wants to have a Doctrine cadre done by Kingdom Con, so I'm gonna do some of that painting this week. So you'll see a lot of the older RK stuff. This and the Castellan are the newer kits, or like they're the newer resin kits. So hopefully they're an indication of what we're gonna see with the 2.0 type models. And then here's the model I picked up the other day. Hold on. And I was gonna build it tonight. I need to wash it. But yeah, that's the rust bucket. Really cool mecha. So this is the stuff you can look forward to me working on for a little while here. Eventually I'm gonna go back. I gotta do some Batman before Kingdom Con. There's another round of commissions for that. And then I want to try to sneak in some Wrath of Kings painting before Kingdom Con. I want to paint some more Technus before Kingdom Con. Just trying to get a little. Paint them beakers. I definitely have to paint the beakers. It's part of the commission, so. But she trusts my aesthetic choices, which is nice. It's great to have clients like that. There's some clients that they want to pick every single color. And do you mount them on clear acrylic or do they have stands? They have bases. I have to pin them to the bases. So usually get for like this type of modeling or models, you'll get bases like this, and you can see I took some epoxy and I stamped that pattern in. So and then they kind of go. This one just kind of they just kind of float on there. You can stick a floating base on them, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna use this. But here, I'll do this one just to show you what we're. So he's gonna go in there. So we're just gonna drop a little pin. So you drill a little hole in the peg here. But that was a big hole. That might have been much deeper than I actually wanted. But where's my... And I'm also running out of glue. That's bad. So you get a little pin like that. That's going to give you a little stability when you go stick it on the base, so it doesn't just fall right over. So you drill a hole through the base. And then you can drop a little glue there. There you go. And then you would kind of hold that in place and let that dry. So cool. I'm definitely going to pick up some RK stuff because you guys were hyping it so much. They look like awesome models to paint, at the very least. Yeah, these old PVC kits are not, or hit and miss. There's some, the bigger the piece, the better the sculpt is. A lot of times I just replace the human-sized troops, I'll just replace them with cool models. So I'll let this dry for a minute. Ugh. And while I'm holding this, you guys can continue to look at the Star Lancer here. Yeah, but I'm going to be ending the feed here very shortly. Beaker guys. Alright. But yeah, I've got to do 2 more beaker guys. Like here's this will demonstrate the point about the scale on the PVC and why they're weird. So this is the Relic Knight for Kisa, for Doctrine, really cool. This totally reminds me of the castle from Thundercats. So that's the Relic, and then Kisa's this little rider here who is terrible. This is an awful sculpt, and it's not good. And you just kind of, you can see the previous owner gorilla glued that shit right there, and it's just really upsetting to me. And then she just kind of goes. She goes there. But let me dig up what I did to make this a better model. So one sec, guys. Should have the case right here. So many good minis for this. I think you've already seen this, Kevin. You might have been, if you look through my stuff. All right. So here's what I did with that. I gotta back this up because again, it's kind of a bigger. All right. So here's that same cat, and you can see I put this cool like Kiba-chan, like anime schoolgirl with the cat ears on it. It's a little out of focus. Let's see if I can. Well, don't die. But yeah, so yeah, here's what I did with it. And I'm way happier with that. She's from Takahashi University, so she's actually is a soda pop miniature. So, you know, nobody's gonna give you crap for doing that kind of conversion. Because it's freaking awesome. Like, anybody who gives you crap about that is an angry person that doesn't like their life. But yeah, super fun. So you're telling me, like, the whole painted argument, like, you're telling me you have the choice between playing with or against that versus that. You know what I mean? Change the riders out, and the relics are really cool. Let me get, what else is, there's some really cool stuff in this range. This is my favorite of the wave 1. Yeah, nice upskirt. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's anime themed, so you get a lot of that sort of ecchi appeal to it. This is Princess Malia from Cersei's Speed Circuit, and this is they had during the Kickstarter, they had a limited edition pose, which I loved. This is actually a metal rider on here, and she's so cool. I want another one of these, but they're super hard to find. Like, it's really hard to find one with a limited rider. Yeah. What I would recommend, like, let me see. I know I'm supposed to be going to bed, but it's too cool. Oh, I guess I'll put her in that way. Okay, since I have it out, here's what I'm using as Academy Guard instead of Beaker guys. Right? So it's either, you can feel the Beaker guy, right? On a 40, this is what I feel. So really cool, just sort of, this is from one of my favorite dead miniature games of all time. Called Anima Tactics. It's made by Cypher Studios. You can buy this stuff on eBay if you just type in Anima Tactics. The miniatures are absolutely perfect for Relic Knights. So if you don't like your Swordsworn, you don't like your Diamond Core, you don't like your main guys, like your rank and file, change them out. Like, go from that to this. And it's cheaper, honestly. Because Anima Tactics is a dead game. A lot of times you can get Anima Tactics for cheaper, and they look better. And you'll be able to replace miniatures. Here's a super. I'm sorry. I'm still gonna show you guys shit. This miniature right here. Let's see if I can zoom in here. This miniature right here, this is Kisa. This is a Questing Knight Kisa. This is one of the rarest Relic Knights miniatures out there. Highly sought after. This is her without the relic. So this is the same rider. This is the same rider that this and this are the same character. And this is absolutely awful. And this is her. This is the metal Questing Knight version. Is this played with cards though? No unit art on the cards. In the like the full production game, there is unit art on the cards, but I don't have a great example to show you. But like I have Swordsworn proxies that you wouldn't be able, that, you know, unless you are really familiar with it, you wouldn't be able to know that that they're not even part of the same game. Oh, I want to show you some other cool, really cool stuff. Sorry, I love this game. One of her boobs 3 sizes bigger than the other. Is that on the metal mini? No? No? Might just be the way I turned the model. They look the same size to me. But you also have cosplay miniatures. So you got, this is like Chun-Li candy, cosplay candy, really fun. And then you have like, this is a cosplay Renfera. She's supposed to be dressed like I forget her name from Cowboy Bebop. I forget the name of that character. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I think we're gonna just call it. It's late at night and I'm fading really fast here. But there's so many cool like things in the game. I want to show you guys IU Beat. Woo! Another one of the super rare Relic Knights minis. Oh gosh. She's got her little loose, but still super cool miniature. So like, she's like a, you know, like cyborg, like musician type player. Really cool. Man, like I said, this is one of my favorite games of all time. It's one of the least understood, least played games, but so damn cool. Anyway, I guess we're gonna just draw the feed to a close here. It is super late and I gotta get up early. I have the day off tomorrow. Oh, here we go. Here's, where's that shitty one? Hold on. Here's what I'm talking about. Okay, here's what I'm talking about. Ah! Okay. If we're both at another slow paint day, you should teach me. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so this is the PVC Isabeau Durand, and I hate this miniature. I hate this miniature. Really weird shape on the face. You can see the details not very good. The arm is like ridiculously long, holding out a sword at a weird angle. It's just not good, right? This is not a good sculpt. It's not. Okay, so I don't like this sculpt. So what do? I go to Anima. I go pick up an Anima Tactics miniature. This is Eve from Anima Tactics. Her sword snapped, unfortunately. But you can see, if you go Anima Tactics, how you can replace bad miniatures with good miniatures. And Anima Tactics is, you can usually find it cheap on eBay. You can, if you know, like, oh, okay, these characters are similar enough in their design. So good, man. That's, like, yeah, it's the old Wave 1 PVC shit is not, you're going to get sculpts that aren't good. But if you're savvy and you can find, specifically in Anima Tactics, if you can find stuff that matches, like, you're going to be so much happier. Oh, by the way, sorry, this feed will end. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. So like I said, there's a weird scale issue. Look at PVC Fiammetta. Way too big. I mean, it's kind of a cool sculpt and everything. Meanwhile, here's the original metal Fiammetta. Good to scale. Not the best paint job. It's an older miniature of mine. But still. So Fiammetta went from that in metal to this in PVC. And look at how much bigger PVC is. But, so I'm keeping my metal shit. Obviously, because it looks better. But, a couple other things I'll show you. the Wave 1.5 stuff, when they went resin, they got a lot better quality. This is Questing Knight Malia. So that cool one on the yellow mech, this is her Questing Knight version. And it's like, you know, obviously it's an Alice reference. And I adore this miniature. It's so good. They're so good. The new, that's why I'm like, man, 2.0, please keep that quality because it's so good. This is a Kingdom Death Candy crossover, which is also super cool. And you can use her as Candy in Relic Knights. Candy, you get Candy and Cola there, Relic Knights. So you have no shortage of really cool, very appropriate proxies. You know, you're not like reaching way out there, and people will know what it is. So me and Mark field proxies all the time in the game, but you can look at, say, you can look at stuff like Anima Tactics, even Heldorado. Another good one is like you can do Takahashi University if you want to have, you know, if you want to go even more anime ecchi theme. Super cool. And that it's like they don't. And like I said, it's Takahashi University, Anima Tactics. Those are all Ninja Division Soda Pop properties, so nobody's gonna give you shit for proxying, except unless people that don't like fan service. People that don't like fan service are gonna give you shit regardless, but you know, it is what it is. I love the aesthetic, and I know it's not for everybody, but still, super fun. Alright, so with that, I think I'm finally gonna call this, you know, call the feed to a close. And I'm gonna put that away. Woo! But yeah, like there aren't games out there where you can paint like a heavy anime theme like that. It really just doesn't. That doesn't really. They don't have. There's no other games that have that kind of aesthetic. No other like miniatures games. Infinity is more like a Ghost in the Shell type anime reference, but like anime. You know what I mean? Mainstream, like the majority of anime looking stuff. Relic Knights is where it's at. So anyways, wow, it's super late. Okay, one last look at the Star Lancer. And so with that, guys, we are going to draw the feed to a close. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys have a good week, and you'll probably see me in another night or two painting. All right, have a good night, guys. Oh, look at that. Thanks for the host, Terrell. We're going to be heading out. I got to find somebody to raid. Let's raid. Who should we raid? Give me, I'm open for suggestions if you guys have a Twitch channel that you think we should raid here. What are we doing? Good night, Kevin. I'm gonna look for who is live right now. Looks like a lot of hosting other things. We got a few people hosting me. Thank you guys for the hosts. Let's go to Drax01. He's up. So let me see if I can do this correctly, because I'm still learning this. Here we go. Good night, everyone. Oh, is it not letting me host? Did that not... Is it not letting me go there? Hold on. I'm no good at this. Okay, I think There we go. And now we're rating the other thing. Good night, everybody.